Sportstime on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sportstime is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Stats Norsworthy.
Beautiful morning.
You really could not ask for a more beautiful Friday. It's fantastic. The August 12, 2022 edition of Sportstime on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats is here. We're live from the FedEx Hub on the 18th fairway at TPC Southwind for the FedEx St. Jude Championship, and it is fantastic. Day 2 of golf. Day 1 drug on. Day 1 was one of the longer days I've seen of golf in a long time, but I am former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn on Twitter at G_Kuhn71. Producing the program, holding down the Family Leisure Studios is Brian Dacus on Twitter at Brian_Dacus. Brian, how's it hanging?
Wow, another beautiful day at beautiful TPC Southwind. And, I mean, what more could you ask for
out here
a Friday?
I
was there earlier. I didn't get to see a ton of golf. It was a slow morning at the Dacus household. But, nonetheless, beautiful day, and I'm ready to start sports time.
We'll introduce Brett. Then I have to know what you mean by slow morning at the Dacus household. But my partner does pre and post for the Ole Miss Football Radio Network. He is Brett Stats Norsworthy on Twitter at Brett Norsworthy. Brett, doing well?
Doing well, Gabe. Great afternoon. 4.5 miles worth of golf for me.
Tell
me if that's a lot or a little or none.
You feet hurting? Legs hurting?
No, nothing's hurting. Nothing's hurting. The miracle of Advil, caffeine, cold caffeine, sugary drinks.
Yeah, caffeine. Sped up your day. Understood. Brian, so you had a slow morning, huh?
This was a very slow morning. I wanted to get out there at 8:30 this morning to, both my picks, Rory and Xander, were in the same group, so I was going to get there, teeing off at 8:30.
Yeah,
I was going to get up there. I was going to walk around with them and then do Johnny's show. I set an alarm clock for 7, then 7:30, then 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and then finally at 9, after like the 8th alarm clock, I finally rolled out of bed.
So you were playing bingo with the alarm clock. I did that. I was here and followed that group you were talking about for all their first 9, which was they started on 10, and 2 holes on the front side. And then I got distracted out at the pit at the commissary stop about that time. Yeah, barbecue at that hour. Yeah.
I've wanted it the past 2 days for breakfast.
And then circle back. But a lot of gallery for me, and right behind them, or maybe right in front of them, was Will Zalatoris' group. Will Zalatoris shot 7 under today, 63.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He had a great day. I watched a lot of him, but a lot of gallery time for me today. Big crowds all day today, and real big crowds for Rory and plenty others. But there's some big names, including Rory, in jeopardy of not making the cut.
Cut line at 2 under. It looks like Scotty Scheffler is flirting with it. We have Jordan Spieth flirting with it right now, but Rory pretty much looking like he's going to be eliminated.
Rory popped the trunk. He's headed to Memphis International.
Yeah, no question about it. Now, at the top of the leaderboard, kind of surprising, Sepp Straka. It's kind of an interesting leaderboard right now. The biggest name that really can save us right this second is Tony Finau, but Sepp Straka at the top at 10 under. Denny McCarthy 9 under. Trey Mullinax tied
won a few weeks
9
ago.
under. Tony Finau's there at 9 under. J.J. Spawn, who came in the day leading,
Adam
is
Scott.
at 9 under through 7.
Major
Adam
winner.
Scott, yeah, he's at 7 under, tied 7.
The old tease for all of us in the golf picks this year. Brian Harmon. Everybody's taking a swing at Brian Harmon this year.
No pun intended, huh? I saw Sahith Theegala last night, who had a really good opening round, 7 under. He was even today, ended up finishing. He was out there when I was walking out hitting his driver at the driving range.
Oh,
I figure, man, if you get to shoot a 7 under day 1 here, you might as well drop the clubs until you get to your first hole the next day.
Who needs Tommy 2-glove Gainey when you got Sahith 2-glove Theegala? He likes to go and black gloves. I thought, what you trying to do? Get hotter?
Does he?
What are we trying to do here?
That's very unnecessary, right? I mean, unless he's got very
not every golf lesson I've ever
he's got soft,
had. They were telling me they don't want that other hand doing a lot.
He's got those nice soft hands that get hurt real quick. I saw today too, by the way. Speaking of gloves, very sidebar. I saw the Little League World Series. A kid hit a home run, tanked a home run with ranching gloves on. I think he was from Texas.
Okay,
you see that? That was something.
No, I never watched a minute.
Not a second.
Wait,
are you hating on the kids?
Nope. Just don't watch.
I don't either. Can't stand it.
Why? What's
Doesn't entertain me.
Hey, doesn't entertain me. I don't think it's good baseball.
Might as well we be watching pole vaulting on Beale Street. It doesn't entertain me.
No, I mean they don't play the way I played at 12 years old. The length of the bases, the length of the fence, not how they play. Can't watch it.
They don't play the game the right way.
I don't care how they play.
They're hitting home runs on stuff that were pop-outs when I was 12.
I wasn't that wild about watching 12-year-olds played when I was 12 and played.
You
Great
guys
point.
are something else. You guys are something else, hating on the kids. Let the kids have their
No
moment in the
Get to the pros, then I'll watch you.
I was at AutoZone Park last night to almost midnight.
Yeah, I was there till about 10. I stayed for the end of the first game, caught about half the second. That was a long first game, Brett.
For 7 innings, it sure was, because the clock has worked. And much as I complained and moaned about it, it has worked. But last night, it didn't in either game. That was a lengthy 7-inning game.
How about end of the first game was close? Had bases loaded, 8-7.
Alec Burleson hit one right on the nose, right to the center fielder.
Yeah. But that was I got to get out there. That was fun.
I hadn't been to as many games this year as I used to go to. The Grizzlies playoffs knocked me out of kind of my April-May going, and in May I also went to St. Louis twice. But last night was my 15th game of the year. I'm going to go tonight, tomorrow night, and one other time, and that'll drop the curtain for me on year 2022 at 3rd and Union.
But obviously out here at the FedEx St. Jude Championship with a host of sponsors, title sponsors of our coverage out here, Landers Ford, First National Bank, and Trust. Now, one of the big things from yesterday, and I tweeted this out, I retweeted it actually. How about Scotty Scheffler? Good old American boy, nice guy. Scotty Scheffler walking in Cam Smith's line.
Yeah,
obviously paired together or in a group together.
Do we know it was through the line or between him and him behind reading his line? I'm getting two different versions of it.
He went
due across it.
He went straight across right in front of him while he was reading.
Because I say, and I like Scotty Scheffler, I was proud to be there on Sunday afternoon at Augusta National when they slipped the green jacket on him in the ceremony right there by 18 green, 1 tee box, the tournament putting area. I was proud to be there. Really bad form. Bad form. I know there's a lot of enmity right now for the people that are headed to live. I know Cameron Smith's on his way. The second he either doesn't make the cut here or gets paid on Sunday, he's gone. That's not how the game's supposed to be played.
I understand.
This sport is better than
I get
that.
it, but to treat him the way he did, I'm going to be honest, this is why I didn't want the 3 guys who tried to get the temporary injunction. I
agree with that.
This is part of it. Because
you
you're
mean
see
we're
a lot
on
more
day 2 without Taylor Gooch? How did we survive, Gabe?
How did we do it? No way.
Man, you mean no Hudson Swafford?
No way. I've noticed. I'm just kidding.
Scram.
But, I think that's bad form, but at the same time, I can't blame Scotty for feeling a type of way about what has transpired and what's going to happen with Cam Smith. And if you're a player on the tour right now, it's more than just a live golf versus PGA Tour thing. It's about your livelihood. And think about Scotty Scheffler, young guy, finally getting to the number 1 spot in the official world golf ranking. Masters, done all these things this year. Best year, probably PGA Tour Player of the Year. He's on the up and up. And now you have guys jumping ship to go to another league while he really has made a name for himself this year, and it distracts from all of the good he's done. That in itself is bothersome.
Everything you just said, all valid reasons, all very legitimate, all I think people could understand. You still don't do it.
No, I get it. I mean, I understand that, but
this sport is better than that.
But again, I don't think
you should do
there's
hard time at Sing Sing.
I think more than normal. I have an understanding for the reasoning behind it.
Yeah,
more than normal, and I think you're there as well. But again,
frustrations are raw. They are. It's raw times. I mean, it's unlike we've ever seen on tour.
Mm-hmm. Now, first hour of our show is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis, one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis. A bunch to get to today. We will continue giving you updates of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. We'll have discussion on it as the day goes on. We have NFL preseason, some training camps to get to. Now, our guest list is loaded, locked and loaded. 3:30. Alan Bell joins us from CBS Sportsline. Talk some wagering. We'll talk about NFL preseason games with him as well. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall joins us as he normally does from the Gold Sheet on a Friday.
We'll get weekend picks from both.
Everything.
Some baseball.
Everything under the sun with Bruce. 4:30. Dave Lotion going to come by. Good old voice of the Tigers. I wore my Tiger shirt not for him today, but Friday.
There's a lot of gear out here today. Isn't it?
Had to bring out the blue.
People are wearing their colors.
People really are ready for football season, though. That's the one thing I noticed.
Saw the new athletics director at Arkansas State, Jeff Purinton, from the Alabama shop. Great to see him. Glad he's part of the area community. He can't wait to bring his Red Wolves football team and Butch Jones to town in about a month, and he's going to crush it at Arkansas State.
By the way, whoever's stopping you and talking to you, it's all football.
It is all
right.
football.
I mean, it's literally, you can't escape it. And we're coming up on it so fast. People are loving it.
If you had to cut up the conversation pie chart, what percentage would you give football talk?
So far for me, 85%.
No question.
Easily.
That is exact. All right. Then divvy up the other 15%.
The rest. 10% golf. And then I'll go 5% miscellaneous, basically.
All right, I was going to go about 8 to 10% live.
Well, yeah.
Oh, but that's
golf.
That's golf umbrella.
That's what I'm.
But and then with some of my buddies, I can't tell you what makes up the rest of the
that's miscellaneous. Come on,
that's a good one. Don't miss it. Like when you do monthly budgets, you get miscellaneous.
You don't have to expose yourself. But we're going to have Dave Lotion at 4:30 by the booth to talk to us. 5 o'clock, bring on John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Talk some golf and then some high school football as the season
JV
gets close.
Time of year, isn't it?
And then we will give you a leaderboard update. We'll talk a whole lot at 5:30 about the tournament, but we're going to also bring on one of our wonderful sponsors, Clint Van Court from Mossy Oak Golf Club, talk about Mossy Oak. And we're going to have to talk.
And golf sticks pretzels.
Hey, and we know he's a Mississippi State guy. We're going to have to hash out game one. Our expectations, what his expectations are for the Bulldogs heading into 2022. Year 2, Mike Leach.
The last time I visited with Clint, he was talking double-digit wins for the Bullets.
Or year 3, I should say.
Yeah.
But, double-digit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That seems –
it could happen.
I mean –
Ole Miss did it last year.
Yeah, but –
Arkansas –
we'll hash it out with him.
State can do it. You got to really thread the needle. You better stop that 2-point play.
I'll say this: I think you're understating it a tad bit, but it's a little more than threading the needle to get to 10 wins for Mississippi State this year. You're talking about 6-2 record in conference. That's going to be
you have to go undefeated,
near impossible, very
in home SEC games
at the least. Yeah, definitely have to beat the Tigers game 1.
You got to start 1-0.
Yeah, there's no question.
You sure do.
But then at 5:45 we get Taco Bell Crunch Time, and we'll wrap up the day. And wrap up our time here at the FedEx St. Jude Championship here at TPC Southwind. Listener lines 901-360-8255. Watch us live and message us on our social, Sports 56 WHBQ, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. And you can go to our website, hit us up, talk to us, see us, sports56whbq.com. Now, outside of the golf, we had some preseason games last night. Giants at Pats, Titans at Ravens. Titans, there's a couple of interesting notes, but the Ravens won 21 in a row. They extended that 2016
hang the banner.
Since 2016, 21 straight
preseason
games winning. I don't know. Something tells me.
I
know the Harbaugh boys. I know the Harbaugh guys. Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. I bet John Harbaugh takes a lot of pride in that preseason winning streak. I really do.
Gabe, I think you would have to. I don't think you just stumble into anything 21 straight.
Well, but they're also peculiar guys.
They are.
They take
pride.
Take pride in bizarre
I like the
things.
Harbaugh boys.
Yeah, no. I like John substantially more than Jim, but Jim's done a good job at Michigan as much as people want to tear him down.
It's one of the quiet, great jobs with so much unfair criticism I've ever seen.
But Ravens cover, too, so they're 19-2 against the spread. Come on. Next time out, I might just have to take them money line against the spread, separate bets, do the whole thing.
19-2 is something that nobody should ever care about, and they're on that heater.
Yeah, that's more than a heater.
I was stunned looking at the Giants-Patriots. I didn't see a single down of football last night. I didn't see any of the the Cornfield game. I was at AutoZone Park, but I did look at the box scores and peruse player participation. Stunned Daniel Jones played as much as he did, and double shocked and going, why are you doing this?
Well,
giving Saquon Barkley any carries.
Well, Saquon, he's got to show that he's back up and ready to go. And Brian Daboll, I mean, you're talking about year one with a young quarterback. He wants to get his guy in there and see what he can do. Daniel Jones did not. I mean, I didn't see anything new from Daniel Jones. Quick, decisive. But here's the issue with him. And we'll talk about this more around 3:45. But first read, he's good with. If his first receiver's open, his hot route, his hot read, he's good. His last read, the check down, he's good. Everything in between, I'm scared of with him. Everything he can't getting through the progression is the issue. He's quick and decisive with his first and his last read, but everything else.
I like that take. I don't know that I have noticed that, but I'll sure start watching it. He just seems to me very unsure.
Last night he looked sure in preseason. He looked very quick with his reads and that type of thing. But it was all quick, first read on the outside or down to the running back. That's all it looks like. Real quick before we get to top and not top story of the day, it's all I'd say. Lamar Jackson out there with no contract bothers me, but that's not the big issue from that game. No, he didn't play.
Okay,
but the Ravens clearly have a type. Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown from Oregon last year.
Yeah.
They know what they want to get in a quarterback. Malik Willis last night, he saw a couple of probably highlights. He ended up 6 for 11, 107 yards, 5 rushes, 38 yards, and a TD.
Pretty favorable reports about it.
The throwing part, he's raw. There's no question about it. And I'm curious the development that goes into that.
Could wreck him having to play him early.
But the athletic part of it, undeniable. Unfreaking deniable.
Body type.
He was great. He had a rollout right that he turned all the way back around and beat him to the pylon.
Body type, comportment, very McNair-esque.
6'3", 220.
Very
he's
Steve
up there,
McNair-esque.
and he's got a
one
cannon
of the great
front arm,
competitors of all time.
But for him, I need to see, without Arthur Smith there, new offensive staff that started last year, I got to see them develop the kid.
Yeah.
Before I really start making drawing conclusions, proclamations about when he'll actually be a starter in the NFL. Because I didn't see starter in the NFL last night. I saw a guy who's coming into his own, who has the athleticism to do it. There's a lot of things to like, but he is unbelievably raw.
And way back when, they were very patient with Steve McNair, and it worked for him. This hour of our show brought to you every day by the one and only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway. That's Lexus of Memphis. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2022 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2022 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. Crank that air conditioner all the way up, too. Lexus of Memphis, the highest standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Great news coming down today. The NFL is no longer allowed to hold settlement money back in the $1 billion concussion case. And what they did is so despicable and disgusting. It's hard for me to discuss. But originally, a lot of the black players were denied because of race norming. And they made this, there was a rule that involved race norming, and it said that black players had a lower cognitive function to start, so it was hard to actually, when they went through tests, it was hard for them to test in to be able to take their amount of settlement. But they finally figured it out, and tests have been rescored. 51 more players have been approved for moderate to severe dementia claims. 250 more show signs of early dementia. They're allowed to get claims off that. But I cannot believe, to this day, this happened and was done under our noses until 2021, Brett. Until 2021, they said that black players didn't have high enough cognitive functioning, and they basically race normed off of that and had scores based on that and denied black players part of the settlement, the $1 billion concussion dementia settlement. It's unbelievable. Such a sad existence to make the veterans of your league jump through so many hoops and be subject to such poor treatment for so long. I'm glad it's changed, but it took way too damn long.
It sure did. My top story right here at TPC Southwind, approaching the 36-hole cut line. Low 65 in ties will make the cut. More lift, clean, and place today. I was surprised by that. I think it was more a function of today for timing. Yesterday took a long time. Even with that, today, if you'd had to have a bunch of rulings on casual water or ground under repair or mud balls or whatever, I think it would have really added to these extraordinary playing times. I wish in the future we increase purses and we lower fields. 120 players, probably way too much. I know the old days of 156 out there on Thursday and Friday, way too much. But on tomorrow and Saturday, or tomorrow and Sunday rather, Saturday and Sunday, there's no way that it's going to be allowed because it is drying up, not at a rapid pace, but it is drying up. And
yep.
I hate that for the people that, and a lot of people can only come on the weekend on days off. That's natural. And they're not going to see near the gob of birdies they're seeing now on TV. They're thinking, oh, look at this, 62 here, 63 there. Tomorrow, 67, 68, and on Sunday, that'll be about as low as it goes, I fear.
That was one of the more – yesterday, when they finished, when they were at 645.
Oh, man.
That was insane.
That was glacial.
And honestly, I think it was just really pace of sort of playing behind guys. They wouldn't start the hole. If it was a par 4, par 5, they wouldn't start the hole until they cleared off the green, even if it was a par 5.
It was really slow. It was too slow. And Gabe, the weekend
I was amazed.
The weekend, like us, high handicapper player, they see these pros on the greens, read the greens from every vantage point.
Yep.
They're doing it for a reason. They're playing for millions of dollars. On the weekend, take a look at that putt and then hit it.
Not top story of the day.
And who was it, by the way? Was it Villegas that used to get down on a push-up?
Oh, Camilo Villegas would, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do to read my putts on the weekend. My not top story of the day.
I couldn't get back up.
My not top story of the day is there's a report from the Associated Press. Deshaun Watson. We know about this case. We know it's an appeal through the appellate process. Peter Harvey, the former New Jersey Attorney General, is going to rule on it, and he's really going to rule in the favor of the NFL. That's what we've seen in the past. This is appointed directly from Roger Goodell himself. So it stands to take the 6-game punishment handed out by Sue L. Robinson and extend it a substantial amount. There are reports from the AP that Deshaun Watson's camp's trying to work out a settlement. And I don't know if they're actually going to be able to get it done. Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio has reported this as well. But the AP is reporting Deshaun Watson would accept an 8-game suspension and a $5 million fine. I don't know if the NFL is going to agree to that. It's going to be an uphill battle to get them to agree to that. I'd imagine they want more, 12 games plus, $8 million to $10 million fine. But at the same time, if we get through all this, we go through this appellate process, and the NFL ends up settling, I feel like the appellate process didn't get what they wanted to get done with it, and that's a shame.
My not top story: the cut line. Billy Horschel, Matt Kuchar, Harold Varner, Seamus Power, among others. They will not be around for the weekend. Justin Rose won't be around for the weekend, and almost as important for the viewers at home and the viewers out here. Yeah, watch the leaderboard. That really matters for out here. But also watch those FedEx Cup standings, and they toggle with every made stroke, because next week in Delaware at the BMW, it'll be top 70 next weekend. So you got to do a lot of work. Ricky Fowler's one of those players. Also talking about missing the cut. Scotty Scheffler 1 under right now through 8, 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament through 8. He's got a little work left to do for him to make the cut for the weekend. Joaquin Neiman, almost the same thing, but some really big names won't be around for the weekend, and others with a lot of work left to do between now and the finish today.
Yep, and we'll keep you updated of all that all live from the FedEx St. Jude Championship here at TPC Southwind. That'll do it for top and not top story of the day.
Brett Norsworthy here for FanDuel, and let's have fun with baseball down the home stretch of the season. You can turn Ks into cash and big hits into big wins at FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Sign up using promo code CASH. Place that first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. Great promotions every day, safe and secure app. You get paid fast, and I love tonight. Jordan Montgomery, start number 2 for the Cardinals in that big series at Busch Stadium, a rematch of the '82 World Series. Brew Crew and the Cardinals night. So I love the lefty, soft-tossing lefty for the Cardinals night. Also love Nolan Arenado to go yard to hit a home run. And the Cardinals take game 1. There's your 3-team parlay for tonight. No better place to bet America's pastime than at America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code CASH to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Time for a break. Alan Bell joins us next.
You have opinions?
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 120 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats to watch the playoff games and to watch all the basketball. It's so easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those two teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan. Which is a team now? In the future?
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
The summer clearance sale is happening now at Family Leisure. You can get up to $2,000 off on a swimming pool. Yes, you heard me. $2,000 off on swimming pools. Get it installed in 2022. You'll be ready for summer 2023. Plus, if you are more of a do-it-yourselfer, Family Leisure has specials that are just too good to pass up, with free ladder upgrades and a whole season worth of chemicals. No one else can offer that kind of deal. Looking for patio furniture? In-stock sets are up to 30% off. Play gyms and trampolines, you can get up to $1,000 off with free installation. We don't know how long these hot temperatures will last, but we do know these prices will not. So take advantage of the summer clearance sale that's happening right now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Wooden Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commissions, sales leads, and a great place to work. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flinn.com. Start your career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Hey Mid-South, the end of summer is almost here. Kids are getting ready for the new school year, but I'll be left behind unless I get my rear in gear. Colin Johnston here from DeSoto Auto Sales, and I need your old ride. So if you bring your keys in, I'll help you end the season on a high note. You could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your old ride. So don't spend another minute in a car you hate. Trade up when you trade it in today. Even if you've had credit problems in the past, my For the People credit approval process works. So if driving your current car is getting old, bring your keys in and you could get the deal of the season. Up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your old ride. But hurry, offer ends at my end of season Keys In sales event. I'm Colin Johnston, your dealer for the people. See all the cars at DeSotoAutosales.com. That's DESOTO Autosales.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Trade-in condition determines actual trade allowance. Kelley Blue Book is a registered trademark of the Kelley Blue Book Company Incorporated, which is not affiliated with DeSoto Auto Sales. Offer absolutely ends on August 31st, 2022.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
Let me tell you what Melvin Toast is packing right here, all right?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Get it?
Back in and rolling, live from the FedEx St. Jude Championship at TPC Southwind on the 18th hole, on the 18th fairway right here at the FedEx Hub. Come visit us. Come say what's up. Also, you can hit us up on the listener line. If you're not on hand, if you're not on the grounds, 901-360-8255. But joining us right this second is the man, the myth, the legend. He is Alan Bell at Alan Bell 247 on Twitter from CBS Sports Line, and he got some good picks for you. Go make sure you go follow him. Alan, how are you, man?
Man, doing fantastic, boys. Y'all doing all right?
I'm doing great because we have like preseason football back, that whole thing, and we're seeing games played. I have to ask you off the top because I had my thoughts in the first segment. What are your thoughts on Malik Willis? First time seeing him last night.
Yeah, look, man, I really I don't pay attention to stats, don't pay attention to much in NFL preseason. And I think it's probably the same way you do. What I do pay attention to, especially in the first game, and especially with rookies at quarterback. Can the kid function on the field? Does he look like he's in a world that he belongs? And I thought that he did. Right now, there's things to clean up. Mike Vrabel said it. He did it last night. Saying, look, kid, in this league, you can't just take off and run. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna roll out and throw, do it, but you gotta throw. You gotta let it rip, right? But those things, they'll work on that. They got practice. They got more games, whatever, right? But the fact that he, comfortably went out there, took snaps from guys he's never taken snaps from, threw to guys he's never thrown to, right? Handed off to guys he's never handed off to in games. He looked fine. I was kind of surprised. I thought he did a pretty good job, all things considered.
And the funny thing, I see people talking about his throwing motion and his footwork in the pocket. That is so hilarious, Alan. Considering we knew this through the draft process, we knew he was raw. We knew he was going to have to go through some learning.
I saw it last year in person when Liberty played Ole Miss.
The one thing I love, and I knew I was going to love, the athleticism and the athletic part of everything I saw last night was fantastic. It exceeded expectations, in my opinion.
Yep, I completely agree. We're looking at this the exact same way, and I completely agree with you 100%. The kid looked athletic, and he looked like he belonged, right? And that's all you can ask for and look for in a first preseason game.
And Alan, the only organization out of 32 NFL teams that really they have to have an appetite for him and they have to stand by him is the Tennessee Titans. What the other 31 say and the other 31 media outlets and other media outlets around the country, if they don't have appetite for Malik Willis, the Titans shouldn't give a darn about it.
Yeah, who cares, right? All you're focused on is can the guy be exactly what you wanted to be and what you drafted him for, right? He's the backup now. You prepare him to be ready to go should he be needed, ready to go, and that's it. And not to mention, on top of all of that, every single thing that you've heard and reported and spoken about from players, coaches, media, everything, is that he's a good dude. Like, everyone on the team likes him. Ryan Tannehill likes him. Like, that he's checked every box you could ask him to check so far.
Yep. And that organization made it work, playing the long game, being patient. It will happen in due time for Steve McNair.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. That's a great point. And I'll also say this, a side note. What I do love about Mike Vrabel is that he's an old school football coach in his heart. Like, he has somewhat of a disdain for rookies and rookie mistakes. He loves getting on them about that. It's like, you can't blame the players. It's their first time being on an NFL field. Like,
come on, college is over.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, dude, what did you want from the guy? Like, it's his first time out here. Like, we're just happy that, like, the jersey fits, the helmet fits. Like, that's good. But Vrabel, he's just old school coaching, man. It warms my heart. That's what I love about him.
Now, holler at me about the wagering aspect of this whole thing. We are now 3 games in, and we are 3 for 3 on overs. Like, what in the world is happening?
What in the world, wide sports is going on here?
Honestly, last year, week one of preseason, I can't remember the exact number, but it was overwhelming unders.
Yeah, so, we started, we say overwhelming unders last year. And look, I still think that that's going to happen in week one. But the thing to pay attention to, in any NFL preseason, especially in week one and maybe week 2 as well, is that when you have either one of two things, quarterbacks who have meaningful playing time, which the Raiders did, all right, or two, when you have quarterbacks that are mobile, you're going to see an increase in points. We saw the Baltimore Ravens, all of their quarterbacks are mobile. Like, it's almost like they found different
I mentioned they have a type. They have a type. There's no question.
Yeah, they definitely. You're 100% right. Like, they have a type. So pay attention to that. Like, when you have mobile quarterbacks, you're going to see plays break down, and you're going to see young guys that are going to take off and run. It's just going to happen. And it generally works, right? Like, they generally get pretty big chunk plays out of it. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to quarterbacks that have, starts under their belt. Other than that, though, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'll tell you this. I've got a play on the night for one game, and we can get to it. Okay. But it's a serious under that I feel great about.
Well, let's get to it.
Yeah. Come on, hold out on us.
We like money.
Yeah, I didn't want to commandeer your show. All right, tonight, Packers 49ers under.
Commandeer our show. Alan Bell, you're a big part of our show. You can commandeer anything you want to at 3:30 on Fridays.
There we go. All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, under 35.5. First off, you're getting the number over that key number of 35, right? But you're going to look at two teams. First, the Green Bay Packers do not care about the preseason whatsoever. They were the lowest scoring team in the NFL preseason last year. They averaged 7 points a game. In fact, in all 3 games last year, in the second half, total, they scored 0 points. They run the ball, they get in and get out. They don't care. All right? 49ers, last 2 years, the most injured team in the NFL. They are not going to do anything with anybody that is significant tonight because they can't afford it. It has killed them the last 2 years.
Right.
So you're going to see two teams that are not going to care. They come from the same attitude, the same places, Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur. You're going to see two teams running the ball, a running clock, getting in and getting out. Take the under 35.5.
How do you feel about Trey Lance going into this season? I understand like Jimmy G and what he was able to do. Never really, and I think with replacing Jimmy G with Trey Lance, regardless of how he plays, he may not be fully ready. It is what it is, but you're trying to raise the ceiling. You may not be raising the floor. We know that Jimmy G's a high floor quarterback, but you're certainly trying to raise the ceiling. What do you think about Trey Lance going into this year? Do you have high hopes, medium hopes, low hopes?
Yeah. So I feel good about him, right? Like, I think that he's going to a team, like, first, it helps when your team is really good everywhere, right? Like, one of the best teams in the NFL. Number two, they're not going to ask him to do a ton. It's not like he has to be Peyton Manning, rookie year, Colts. This is your team. Good luck. Like, run the ball, right? Short yardage, chunk passing, right? Like, he doesn't have to do a whole lot. Like, just don't screw it up. And be athletic. Like, this is a team that likes to be physical. It likes to, run the ball, move the ball. Kyle Shanahan is not going to mind, one, him running, and two, there's going to be a lot of design runs for him, especially in the red zone, right? So I think that as long as he doesn't have bonehead mistakes, which are going to happen, happens to everybody, but especially rookies, that's going to happen and be fine. But, yeah, I like him because it's a low risk of what they're asking him to do. It's not throw the ball 45 times. Like, he is going to have very low risk play calls, which is going to help him stuff.
Now, tonight, the game that most people are going to keep an eye on, and it's unfortunate that this has been the running storyline, and I have to sort of get you guys both in on this. Are we ready to see Deshaun Watson play quarterback tonight? Like, is that something that has crossed y'all's mind, that Deshaun Watson will be on an NFL field tonight?
It's so weird because, like, it's almost like the Browns are trying to stick it to somebody, right? But, like, most teams, like, just out of professional, like, appearance and courtesy, wouldn't play it. Like, it's not worth it.
Right.
Because how long are you going to play him? Like, 3 series max? Like, you're not going to run him the whole game. So it's like, what are you actually going to get out of him doing that? It's not like, he's not a rookie. He's played in games
but I do understand the thought of, like, okay, he's with a new team. You want to get him involved. But, like, right now, it's just such a bizarre time with the appellate process going on. And
like,
I think it comes down on the NFL, though. The NFL, they're not able to do anything for the preseason. So it's like, I thought,
like, honestly, not to interrupt you, but like, I honestly thought, like, all morning, I've been thinking in my head that, like, you know, when both teams are going through warm-ups and, you know, they're stretching and whatnot on both sides, like, I really thought that, like, the NFL would have a couple, you know, not official referees, but, like, officials with the league, would walk up and just say, hey, he's not playing. Get him out of here.
But he's going to get killed. They're on the road. I mean, it's just going to be a distraction all around.
The Browns are going to get killed. The league's going to get killed. It's avoidable. It's unnecessary for him to play. Just go down there and go until this plays out. Just keep him on the sidelines. Keep him in the locker room.
The Jags fan reception too. It's going to be. I'm not going to say. I don't want to go to scary.
Behind the bench area, liquored
up.
Woo!
It's going to be bad.
None of it is good. Like, none of it is good at all. Right? Like, I'm with you. And the benefit, there's almost none. Like, that's what I'm saying.
None. Right.
Yeah. Like, most teams
would
just have. Like, I can guarantee you 100%, Mike Vrabel would not be playing Deshaun Watson in the same situation just for that. Because now you're going to get so many, all the questions for after middle of the game, they're all going to be about Deshaun Watson. It's not going to be about the game. It's not going to be about anybody with Deshaun Watson. And they opened it up.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I've said this forever, right? Like, the owner of the Browns, Haslam, he's the dude that was running fantasy football the last 20 years. You noticed it was an absolute disaster at Tennessee. And the minute that guy is gone out of the program running the Browns, Tennessee's winning conference titles in basketball, baseball. They're looking better in football, track. Everything is better with that guy being gone. And you look, it's the exact same problems that the Browns now deal with because it's poor ownership, man. Like, that guy is a problem. The Browns got to deal with him. He's an absolute problem.
Real quick, Alan, we have to go. Give me right now, you mentioned Tennessee Vols. I'm seeing their number in Vegas at 7.5. Are you over or are you under season win total for the Tennessee Volunteers?
Yeah, I'm over, and I think it comes out of 5 between games. Yeah, Florida, LSU, Pitt, Georgia, Alabama. Georgia, Alabama losses, knock those out. That's 10 wins. Florida, I think they're better than Florida. I think they're better than LSU. I think they're better than
I'm 93 for Tennessee.
Yeah, you got to go on the road to do it, right? Even if they lose 2 of those 3 swing games, it's still 8 wins. Yeah, I like the over.
Yeah.
No question about it. Alan, always appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Hey, you guys too, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we'll talk next week.
You got it.
Good
luck.
You can follow all of his work at CBSSportsLine.com and go to it. Trust me on this. Go to his Twitter site at AlanBell247. Great nuggets. He'll lead you in the right direction on bets, and he has great content coming out every single day. Now, the first name I should say in Memphis Italian food is Ronnie Grisani's in Regalia. The Italian favorites: crisp cold Miss Mary salad, lobster tower, fried green tomatoes, the crab stack. Monday through Saturday for lunch, you can get there. Ronnie Grisani's catering is also available. Check out the lunch catering guide at RonnieGrisani.com. The Elfo special, I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Just go get the Elfo special and thank me later. They got salad, Italian bread, $14 per person. Ronnie Grisani's, they'll bring it to you as well, 901-850-0191. Pick up a pan of lasagna at Ronnie Grisani's at Regalia, or check out the bulk menu at RonnieGrisani.com. Get your favorites at home. chicken Alfredo, ravioli, Italian spinach. You can get curbside pickup, delivery to your door, free within 4 miles of Regalia. Again, that number, 901-850-0191. If you want to stay cool with a good cocktail, go to the bar. And also, the steaks. I know I talked about the Elfo special, but that 8-ounce Gorgonzola and bacon wrap filet, try it, thank me later. You can get the food at High Point Grocery, super low on Spotswood and Goodman Road, and you can get the drink at Buster's Liquors. Make lunch or dinner easy at Ronnie Grisani's, a Memphis tradition since 1909. We go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we have some NFL preseason to discuss, and that's a lot. We have to cover a whole lot, and that's next.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm with the expert. Yeah, that's right, expert. Kyle Storms here with Big Green Egg. Kyle, what can you cook on a Big Green Egg?
Almost anything. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill. Some of the best barbecue, desserts, and pizzas I've ever eaten have been cooked on a Big Green Egg.
I have to be honest. The last grill I had fell apart on me. I had to throw it away. What kind of warranty comes with a Big Green Egg?
This will truly be the last grill you have to buy. Big Green Egg has had a lifetime warranty on all ceramic parts of the egg since 1995. I talk to customers all the time that have had their eggs for 10, 20, 30-plus years. You can't say that about most grills.
How long has the Big Green Egg been around?
Big Green Egg was founded in 1974 by naval engineer Ed Fisher and has never changed ownership. Ed found out that no matter what you throw on an egg, it just comes out better. And now more and more people find out every year.
It's time for another season of golf at Miramichi. You know the spot, 15 minutes north of downtown in Woodstock. I call it heaven. It's 330 acres of natural beauty, 7,400 yards of championship-level golf, but there are several different tee boxes which make it fun or competitive for every level of golf. And the practice facilities are as good as any country club, and every round of golf comes with a cart and complimentary range balls. You can really improve your game, and you'll love the prices too. Seniors can play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for as low as $33. Again, the golf cart and the range balls are thrown in. The standard weekday rates are as low as $44. Friday, it's $50, and on Sunday, it's $55. You'll love the view from the terrace. You look out and see the best view in all of Shelby County. The whole experience, it's just fantastic. Go check it out yourself at Miramichi.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with all the hottest brands in golf at the best prices, featuring tailor-made stealth carbon woods and irons. Callaway's Rogue ST collection of woods and irons, Titleist's T-Series irons and Vokey wedges, and Ping's G425 woods and irons. All this and more at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Swing by and receive a free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Sheldon, we've worked together for over 20 years, and we have sold a lot of homes in that time.
That's right. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with Melanie Simpson, and we're with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Melanie, I've represented numerous buyers and sellers and always strive to do a good job for whomever I represent.
Sheldon, I know you do, except your golf game is horrible because you spend so much time taking care of your clients. I even heard that you tend to hit people with wayward golf shots.
Only 2 or 3 times, and they're all out of the hospital now. Like I always say, if you're thinking of selling a home, talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers and make sure I'm one of them.
And if someone needs to fill up a foursome, don't call you?
That's right. And find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn.
You can reach Shell Dunn Rosengarten or me, Melanie Simpson, at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now. That's 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. And
Go Tigers!
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect machine. It's really a miracle of evolution.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Back rolling. Live from the FedEx St. Jude Championship at TPC Southwind. We are in the FedEx Hub on the 18th fairway. Fantastic time out here, no question. And we are going to have to start talking about, and we've discussed it a little bit. Tony Finau, he goes to 9 under. He's on 10 today. He's 3 under for the day.
Why aren't we picking him?
My gosh, Brian got a little love on him.
Brian, you got some love.
But he's on a ridiculous. He's a ridiculous heater.
Yeah, I did.
This heater is. I mean, this is unfair.
Oh, he's on that holding the dice 2-hour roll.
No, it's ridiculous. It's
down
ridiculous.
at the horseshoe.
Yes. Now, NFL preseason games last night. We sort of hashed out what we saw out of the Ravens-Titans game. Malik Willis got to play.
Have you ever been a part of a role like that?
No,
I never have either. I walked by and go, "Oh, guy, just had him for 2 hours. I missed everything."
And honestly, I still don't know how to play craps.
I don't either. I don't know what I'm doing, and I always do something
I
wrong.
will say this: someone can teach me. I really don't know.
I don't want to learn.
People
People
that play it love it. Love it.
I always do something wrong, and the whole table. What'd you do that for?
Well,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Blackjack's the worst with that.
Oh
gosh.
It never fails. I sit down like with a professional player.
And what bothers me is whenever I take advice from the table, I lose.
I mean,
and then but I did the right thing apparently for them, but I lost money.
But you know the broad parameters around playing black or craps, don't you?
What are broad?
So you know the field bet area, right? And you throw it out there. The first time I'm ever at a real casino, I thought to get paid double on the 2 or the 12, you had to put the chip actually inside the little circle that circles 2 and 12. Right. And I'm doing it very precise. You know how?
Yeah.
I'm very precise.
Same amount of space on each side. Perfect.
Almost centrifugal force, perfect. And finally, the stick man laughs. He goes, "Buddy, you just throw it out there. If it hits 2 or 12, we'll pay you." I said, "I don't know what I'm doing."
But you still don't know what you're doing. You played it. I have no idea.
And I hadn't played in the 21st.
But I really do. Like people that play it, they say it's the elite, and most people that know how to play that play blackjack and
I don't
roulette as well.
I don't have the patience for it either. I don't want to stand there forever, and I mean, and the agony of defeat kills me more than the thrill of victory does.
Yeah.
I mean, I just to lose cash, no thanks.
I didn't miss out on my opportunity last night for the thrill of victory though with the Ravens. Minus 175, that was easy money. I didn't miss out.
You got there.
I got there. I got there with my minus 175. I didn't take the line though.
You win, we all win, don't we?
But 21 straight, 19 to 2 against the spread. I'll take it.
Don't we?
Yeah. Preseason games though, people probably hear me talking about my betting on preseason games and roll their eyes. It is what it is, though. We've hashed out what happened in that Ravens game. We got to see Malik Willis handle his business. The one thing we didn't talk about, Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks didn't do a dang thing. And I understand he's had some things going on, the asthma, and I think he's back and good to go.
Time.
But I've heard great things about him in practice, but he's got to, and that's sort of what Mike Vrabel said. Mike Vrabel said, take the practice to the field and you'll be okay.
We always did at Arkansas, and he's from a great high school program as well. But, this is the NFL.
Yeah, it
high
is.
High school and college is over.
He only got one target, didn't catch it. Honestly, I think when they get into the season, they need to rely on him. I mean, they got rid of A.J. Brown for him, more or less.
Oh,
I mean, they didn't want to pay AJ.
It's a big miss.
Oh, it's huge. And John Robinson, I've given a lot of credit to their GM. He's done a good job with the Titans, building them up, made the right hire, and Mike Vrabel done all that. But if you miss on Treylon Burks, that's tough.
Gabe, did you have any coaches that love, all right, come on, Gabe, high school's over. Don't be high school Harry. Did you have any of those guys?
Yeah, good old Vance Weiss. Still around Memphis. Maybe listen to the show right now. If you hear me, Coach Weiss, yeah, he was that way.
Like you didn't know high school
He was that
over.
way. Yeah. You get off your toes, playing on my toes as a young old lineman. Yeah. I got a lot of that. Now, in that Giants-Pats game, we talked about Daniel Jones. Kenny Golladay, are we getting to the point where that may have been the worst waste of money in the history of? Is he the most overpaid wide receiver in the game right now? 4 years, $72 million.
Well, that price tag, we're sure getting close to it. You're right. There have been some big busts with those free agent wide receivers. when they get paid, sometimes that motivation can go down.
What was it, 2018, 2019, 1,000-yard years with Matt Stafford? Matt Stafford, I'm sorry, based on last year
I go
and going
way
into
back
this
to
year.
Alvin Harper from Tennessee with the Cowboys, got the big money with the Buccaneers, never to be heard from again.
Matt Stafford about made him, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
Those were the 2 best years of his career, and Matt Stafford was there feeding him the ball every step of the way. Colin Johnson, the second-year guy out of Texas, looked a lot better. He led them in receiving. And the big news on the Patriots side, and I can't get over this. This is why I'm not high on the Patriots this year. I don't care if Bill Belichick's the coach. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are splitting play calling duties. Matt Patricia, failed coach with the Lions. Joe Judge, failed coach with the Giants. By the way, Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator his entire career, so he's never really called offensive plays. Joe Judge has never called offensive plays. They are calling offensive plays for Mac Jones not Mac Jones last night, but for the Patriots. That's ridiculous.
This will really challenge the BB and Bill Belichick. We trust. I know we trust Jason's Deli. They like to say bringing more to the table. It's a family thing, and they do it. 5 or 5,000, they've got you covered. All these great locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Over 200 Memphis area associates with this Jason's Deli group, and they really appreciate what you, the customer, the very valuable customer, have done for them and for their lives. Healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. Jason's Deli, all about choice, regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals. You will be delighted at Jason's Deli. All those salads, all those spreads, the breads, the cheeses, the meats, all so good. When you go to the desserts, they are good. And if you're in these locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova, the complimentary free ice cream. But before you get to the free ice cream, get to the Mesa chicken salad or the nutty mixed-up salad or the Big Chef salad or that great salad bar. Over 30 items just to choose from just from that salad bar. Again, catering anytime, anywhere. Plenty of organic food to choose from for any party this weekend. If you're in the Southwind area, I know you're hosting stuff. Let Jason's Deli set it all up for you and take care of you. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
You know where we're at. We're at TPC Southwind Live from the FedEx St. Jude Championship. And hour number 2, the 4 o'clock hour, we are loaded. Dave Woloshin's going to join us at 4:30 to talk about the golf tournament and also talk about some Tigers. 4:45, we have some college football to discuss and updates from Tigers camp. But coming up next, Bruce Marshall joins us from the Gold Chute.
Folks, Bob Burkheim for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Thinking about buying a new or used car or truck? Remember, the selection's better and the savings are bigger at Sunrise. Over 600 new cars and trucks to choose from. Factory rebates up to $2,000 and interest rates low as 0%. Bad credit? It's okay. At Sunrise, we've got a financing plan for everybody. SunriseMemphis.com. We're saving you money. It's just a way of doing business. Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville. We make it fun to buy a car again. Check out the all-new Sunrise Truck Corral. Huge selection of nothing but trucks. All makes, all models, all prices, all trucks, all the time. Next to Sunrise Wolf Chase.
For the first time in history, the FedEx St. Jude Championship will kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs this August. Bring the whole family out to TPC Southwind, August 10th through 14th. To watch the PGA Tour's best, try to make it through Memphis. Enjoy a variety of family-friendly activities throughout the course, food from local restaurant favorites, and more. Daily grounds and upgraded tickets are available now at FedExChampionship.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions. Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. Have you been turned down by your homeowner's insurance in the past 12 months for damage you believe you're owed? Call Brian Elder Roofing now. Our professionals will do a no-obligation, thorough evaluation of your property and document all damage we find. Our fully certified Hague inspectors are trained to identify storm damage to assess and build a full estimate in a language your carrier will understand. If there is no damage found, we will tell you just that. We build a data file of your actual storm damage for your carrier, all at no cost to you, free. So call now for your comprehensive roof guarantee from Brian Elder Roofing. Call us, 867-0303. That's 867-0303, or schedule online at brianelderroofing.com. Because if you think it's a claim, we'll help you show it's a claim.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
How do you want that cooked? Burn to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
The second hour is here. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I am Gabe. He is Stats. And joining us, as he normally does on a Friday, is Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet. Bruce, how's it hanging?
Hey,
Bruce.
Good, pretty good. Hey, guys, I'm actually still in California here, but everything's good.
Okay.
It rained a lot in Las Vegas last night. Had some flooding there. I'm glad I wasn't there.
We had it Tuesday here at the golf tournament, and in fact, they've played lift, clean, and cheat, as Jack Nicklaus used to describe it as, both yesterday and today. They won't do that over the weekend, and I'm sure Vegas factors that in on betting round to round. I know all the online sites they sure do that, but people coming here on the weekend, Bruce, they're going to see 62s and 63s and 64s just dime a dozen yesterday and today, and it's not going to be that case this weekend.
Yeah, they have to make some adjustments with this weather stuff as it goes. But I'm just glad I didn't have to drive in it last night. That would have been really bad driving back to Vegas. I'll do that next week, but not tonight.
Could you measure it in inches, or how much rain was it in Vegas? That's a very uncommon occurrence
and rare.
Yeah, well, they said it flooded some of the casinos, and they get these flash storms that come through. So I'm not sure how much it was, but
fair amount.
I got a text from Matt Humans from Vegas Insight, VSiN, wondering if I was in town, and I said no, and he said, "Good for you." He said, "Because it's flooding." It's flooding here. So
I can't imagine they invest a whole lot in drainage systems there. I just can't imagine that's at the top of their to-do list. But it is what it is. I'm curious. For you, when it comes to preseason NFL football and it comes to wagering, how much do you pay attention to it? How much do you follow it? Do you record the trends? Do you yourself put out
very
picks
cautious
for it?
Well, it's kind of to each his own on this, but I've always been very bullish on the preseason, and I'll tell you why. And I think there's a couple of misconceptions about it. I understand the games don't really mean anything. Fine. The preseason is its own sort of league. It's got its own existence. There are trends that are just significant to preseason that really don't carry over to the regular season. But so what? I mean, right now, regular season stuff doesn't matter. If you want to bet this stuff, there are angles and trends in the preseason that you can follow up upon, and I think actually lend itself more to a serious handicap of the game than the regular season does. And the reason I say that is because there's some information out there usually that if you dig around some, you can find it. It's a little bit easier to find it, excuse me, guys, nowadays than in the past because of the proliferation of the internet and the web, and the news travels more quickly. But I mean, there are usually some nuggets you can find about who's going to play, who's not going to play, who's taking the game seriously, who's not. A working knowledge of the teams, especially the quarterbacks, really comes in handy here, and also being aware of some of the trends and the way some of the coaches approach these games. I mean, some of them with John Harbaugh, 21 straight preseason wins, yet that number started to move against the Ravens last night for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, that was like a gift. And there's some other coaches who don't seem to care about Sean McVay is one. He really lays down low for the preseason. But the thing is, these things are out there to take advantage upon in the preseason, and if it's only for a few weeks, so be it. It's like its own entity. Mort Olson, the founder of the Gold Sheet, used to say, with a lot of conviction, that he thought the best time and the best chance to beat the odds makers was always in the preseason. And this is from back in the 60s and 70s when they played, 6, sometimes even 7 preseason games if you played in the Hall of Fame game in those years. But he firmly believed that because you could find some edges that you'd never find in the regular season because all the news is out there. Everybody's playing all their guys. So I think it's a great handicapping spot. And we went, we took 2 shots last night with New England, and that number had gone up. And Belichick had done pretty well in preseason openers in recent years. They ended up covering the spread, even though they lost the game outright. And, of course, Baltimore. And, again, I can't understand why the number moved against the Ravens last night. Sometimes you get reports from camps and things. You really got to be careful of that because if they say an offense is struggling and this is problems, well, does that mean the defense is playing well? I mean, how do you interpret some of the different things that come out of camp? That sort of stuff you don't have to pay as much attention to, but you do pay attention to lineups, who's going to play, and, of course, track records and just knowing trends from the preseason. They fit. They work.
Our guest is Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet. And, Bruce, in 2 Fridays, we will be sitting 24 hours or a day out from week 0 games in college football. 11 games that day. The best game that day is Nebraska against Northwestern in Dublin. That's 2 Power 5 teams. Nebraska under Scott Frost, Northwestern under Pat Fitzgerald. I'm going to be out next Friday and that following Friday. So give me a little tease of what you think about week 0. Nebraska right now a 12-point favorite. Last year they laid a gigantic egg in week 0 playing Brett Bielema in Champaign-Urbana. Will Dublin be more friendly to Scott Frost in yet another reboot of Nebraska football?
The poor Irish, though. The poor Irish folk have to be subject to that type of football. Unreal. Big Ten football, bottom of the barrel Big Ten in Dublin.
Well, that's all good points there. And, Nebraska did let Northwestern have it last year. Pat had some problems last season, and he's generally had difficulty putting 2 big years in a row. But they kind of regroup at Northwestern. He's got to figure out some things with that offense. But still, this is not being played in Lincoln. Nebraska, we know that Scott Frost is under enormous pressure this year. The AD, Trev Alberts, gave him 1 more year, but he reduced the buyout, and he's got to win. Adrian Martinez has finally transferred out. He's at Kansas State now, the quarterback, for his 15th year of college eligibility. There are some Nebraska people we talked to who, I maybe mistakenly, I think, seem to think Martinez was a problem for them, and perhaps he was to a certain extent, but they're blaming a lot of the shortfalls on Martinez. They lost a lot of close games. They lost 7 games by a score or less last year. Casey Thompson, the ex-Texas quarterback, comes in to run the offense. I don't know that is a really good spot where I'd trust laying points, especially since Fitzgerald generally in his career, didn't work last year, but generally has been a pretty good underdog. So I think that's kind of a tricky one in week 0. The other Big Ten team that's playing that day is Illinois. We talked about them a little bit last week. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Illini. We might have mentioned them a little bit last week. Bielema's second year. Remember, Arkansas, second, third year, he started to get the Razorbacks up to speed. before it kind of fell apart his last year there. But he's well capable of developing this into sort of another, like his old Wisconsin teams. He's got them playing like that. And DeVito, another 10-year college player, transfers in from Syracuse at quarterback. Now, they're laying about 9-10 to Wyoming. Craig Bowl, boy, you talk about Nebraska offense. This is the 1970s Nebraska offense that he runs up there at Wyoming. And their best running back, Holiday, transferred there.
Jerry Taggy's not walking through that door, Bruce.
No, he's not, and neither is Johnny Rogers. And and they could use them in this Wyoming team. But I think I could see Bielema maybe being worth a shot there, laying some points. One other one of interest. I'm not sure how I'm going to lean in this one. Nevada's playing New Mexico State. Jerry Kill has resurfaced at Las Cruces, which is going to be, they're joining next year. They'll be in Conference USA. They've wanted to get back into the league for several years. My question is, he had to leave for health reasons, some serious health reasons in Minnesota. He had to step down there. So this would not seem to be a job conducive to your health at New Mexico State. I hope his physician is loaded up with malpractice insurance, because I don't know that I would advise Kill taking this job.
Yeah, it's just always tough at New Mexico State. It's not a place that a lot of people want to go play. I'll say that from experience. Las Cruces is not really attracting the high school recruit these days, believe it or not.
No, it's not. And I've actually been there once. That's where Charlie Johnson, the quarterback for the Cardinals and the Broncos long ago, was in New Mexico State. He actually served on the faculty there. He's a very smart guy. He's a chemical engineer, was a professor, and he retired as a professor there. But it's Charlie Johnson. It's over 60 years since he played there, and there hasn't been a lot of success since.
Lou Henson went to a Final Four with New Mexico State, though. 100 years ago, didn't he?
1970, he did, yeah.
Yeah,
shout out. That's not quite 100.
Half
not
100.
Quite 100. Come on now. So on the Big Ten conversation, I know we were talking about Big Ten teams before. Curious for you, what did you think about the new TV deal? Obviously, I don't know if it's fully finalized, but NBC, CBS, they're going to have a split between all these different networks. What do you think this sort of does in the network world? It feels like it'll be ESPN versus everybody else once ESPN ups. Not once, but once ESPN's SEC deal starts.
Yeah, well, I was interested that CBS is jumping back in, and it looks like they are going to go. They're going to just switch over once the SEC deal is over. That Saturday afternoon slot's going to be a Big Ten game, so they're not going to be out of the business. So I guess Brad Nessler and Danielson will be calling games in the Big Ten after this.
And Gary can finally do a Purdue game.
Gary can finally do a Purdue game. There you go. So that surprised me. I was a little surprised to see NBC get involved too, but I think that Gabe and Brett, I think the interesting thing is here, it looks like ESPN's not involved with this, and ESPN has been with the Big Ten since the 80s, and a lot of ESPN Big Ten has been a lot on ESPN, but now it's all Fox, it's all a little bit NBC and CBS. So I think this does sort of draw the battle lines with the Big Ten, and they're staking out these networks as their own, and the SEC is all in with ESPN. I mean, I think that this pie is big enough for everybody, but I think it's just interesting now how it's being sliced a little differently.
Bruce, barring catastrophic injury, really big injury news, I've done my W's and L's for a lot of college football teams, all the AAC, all the SEC, most of the Big Ten, a lot of the ACC. In the SEC, I'm not going to give the particulars because we're going to do it over segments over the next several weeks, and I'm going to be out some of those days. But I have two 12-0 teams. I think most people know who they're going to be. That's going to be Alabama and Georgia. Then I have one 10-2 team, two 9-3 teams, two 8-4 teams, three 7-5 teams, three 6-6 teams, and one 3-9.
I wonder who that 3-9 team is.
And that's Vanderbilt. The point I'm trying to make with you, and I want you to get your thought on it. It's a whole lot of 6-6, 7-5, 8-4 in the SEC, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, you got those two that look like they're still head and shoulders above the rest. And frankly, look at how the West broke down last year. And I've just got to refer to it here. I mean, Arkansas might have finished second in the West. I'm not sure. But
no, Ole Miss did.
Ole Miss did. That's right. But, they beat up each other except for the top. And even last year, look at some of those close calls that Alabama had, several in the league. The Arkansas
only
game
beat
was
LSU by 6, beat Arkansas by 7.
And the Auburn game they should have lost, and they could have lost the Florida game too. So it maybe it's a little closer than we think. But I kind of agree with you there. I think this league, they're going to beat up on each other, and that's the one negative of having such a strong league like that is you can cannibalize each other there, and I think we may see a lot more of that. I'm curious where you have Kentucky, because I kind of think this could be a 9 or 10 win season for Mark Stoops if he gets Georgia at home right at the end of the year. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in that? But this schedule doesn't look all that daunting if he can get by Florida and Ole Miss in the first half of the season on the road. There's a couple challenges. Tennessee's a challenge too, but the job that he has done there is remarkable, I think. And
it's a statue job. I mean, he deserves a statue.
Everyone's recognize it except for the basketball coach, and the rare public spat between basketball coach and football coach is playing out right now in Lexington between John Calipari and Mark Stoops. There was a time, a long time ago, that Bear Bryant and Adolph Rupp went at it, and it was one of the bigger reasons why Coach Bryant left for Texas A&M. Mark Stoops not going anywhere, and John Calipari sure not going anywhere, but it does not feel – now, Bruce, a lot of places the basketball coach and the football coach don't get along, but they don't let it out in public like it's played out this week in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Yeah, and you can see where, fighting for the nil dollars and all that. I mean, Kentucky's not going to be caught behind, at least in hoops, but Stoops wants some of that too. So it is, and I think it's been, it's been a while since, it's been a long time since Kentucky's, been in this sort of position there. But I think Stoops has done marvelously there, and it is sort of interesting the way that's breaking down. So he's done one, and I think Sam Pittman at Arkansas on the other half of the loop, that might be another one of your teams that's up there, maybe 9 or so wins. The more I look at it, what he's done, it's remarkable what he's accomplished there. They could have won that Ole Miss game last year. The only one they didn't have a chance was the Georgia game, and therein was the problem Arkansas could have because it just didn't have a state-of-the-art passing game to come back when they fell behind like that. But every other game they were in last year, and they certainly looked good in the bowl game against Penn State.
Sure did.
Over the Big Ten. So that's another interesting development, and a lot of people back for Arkansas too.
What's your outlook on Texas A&M this year? Jimbo, he sort of has to start turning the corner. Those fans are going to get impatient. He had the number 1 recruiting class, spat back and forth with Nick Saban. What do you think about
Gabe
them?
knows the offensive coordinator. I know the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Darryl Dickey. he was here my entire time at the University of Memphis. But what's your outlook on them this year?
He better make it. He better at least move into the second spot behind Bama. And I think he removed a lot in the West, at least. And I think he removed some of the pressure from himself that was starting to build by beating Alabama. I still don't understand how that happened, last year, but it did. And that was with Calzada, one of his first games he started at quarterback. And he never looked that good the rest of the season. We've said this before. This is reminding me more and more of Jackie Sherrill at A&M back in the 80s. And they got him up to that plateau, and he never could get over the hump, which is why they hired him, and that started all the big money hirings and all that. So Jimbo is sort of on the clock there. As for his team, I know they love the recruiting class. We'll see how these guys come in. I think there's we didn't quite get to see Haynes King last year, except in the opening game, the quarterback. They liked him, but we don't have much exposure to him. Max Johnson comes over from LSU. I circled week 3. The Hurricanes come into College Station. And then they go out on the road. Arkansas in Jerry World.
In Dallas.
Arlington. Yeah, in Dallas, Mississippi State, and Alabama right after that. So if he's sitting like 3-3 at midseason, the temperature's going to be turned up. I don't think he's in any immediate danger, but
State got him in College Station last year.
Yes, they did. And Arkansas handled them pretty well in that game up in Arlington last year too, and State got them. So that's a big stretch there. And Alabama, and in truth, they also go to South Carolina after that. So they go more than a month. They go about 6 weeks between games at Kyle Field this year before Ole Miss comes in, Brett and Gabe, late Halloween weekend. So I don't know. I'm not as bullish on A&M. I think the schedule is full of potholes there. I don't know about Haynes King, and I just think the expectations haven't quite been met yet.
I am never bullish on A&M. It's always a big build-up for 8-4. That's really what it feels like at this point. And obviously, get over the hump a little bit with Kellen Mond in the COVID year, but that's hard. It's hard to gauge what that meant in that COVID year. And obviously, 9-1 or 8-1 anytime in the SEC is good. Now, you mentioned that Week 3 game against Miami, and I have that one circled for them as well. And like when we talk about teams like Miami, there's those teams that everyone wants to be, quote, back. And I look at the coaches' poll that came out earlier this week, and between 15 and 18, 3 of those teams are there, USC, Miami, and Texas. Of those teams going into this year, who do you think's the most likely to be back?
I think Miami is, and I say that with an asterisk because that's not necessarily because of Cristobal. I'm still not quite sold on him. I don't think they utilized Justin Herbert quite correctly when he was at Oregon a few years ago. But I think he's got the structure. He knows how to structure the program. He knows how to recruit, and let's see if he can get over the hump. What I like about Miami, though, is Tyler Van Dyke, who I believe, even though maybe he's not going to win the Heisman this year, right now, Stroud, Bryce Young, it's the huge edge being an Alabama or Ohio State quarterback. But eventually, 7 or 8 years from now, and when these guys are all in pro football, or some of them at least, I think Van Dyke will be the best of this bunch. I think he could be a great quarterback, and I think, and you can sort of sense that talking to Miami people. He really showed something last year. I like him more than Caleb Williams, and I like him more than Quinn Evers or whoever Texas is going to put in a quarterback this year. Quinn Ewers, I think Van Dyke is the bomb, and I think this gives Mario a chance to go into College Station and win and make some real noise in the ACC. I would not be surprised if he wins that half of the ACC, which is the non-Clemson half.
Right.
And the road is clear there for him to win. So I'm thinking Miami of those 3 might be the one to watch.
And so one of the more the lesser storylines around Miami. Yeah, I think Mario Cristobal has shown us getting over the hump for him. Even at Oregon he sort of teetered. Last year, the win against Ohio State was nice, but then down the stretch just got smacked twice by Utah and made no adjustments. So I understand that. The one thing he did do, though, Bruce, is he went and got a good OC and a DC. Josh Gaddis from Michigan, Kevin Steele on the defensive side of the ball. He's got a good staff around him.
Well, one other thing, too, about Miami. In the arms race now, they are not going to be caught short because Mr. Ruiz, the big businessman there in the hospital and all that, what they own, the money they have put in to the program now.
Life Wallet? Is he the Life Wallet guy?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
And he is, and they're talking, he's even talking about helping finance a new stadium down there closer to campus because the Dolphin Stadium is up north. It's well away from Coral Gables, so they might want to come back closer to home. But there's and on the NIL side, Miami is not going to be caught short. Just look in the basketball, what they paid Nigel Pack from Kansas State. 2-year deal, $800,000 plus a brand new nice car. I mean, that's just for a point guard in basketball. Now, football, they're going to be spending a lot more money than that. So they will not be caught behind in the arms race. But it's almost like as long as Mr. Ruiz wants to keep pouring money in, this is almost like an Oklahoma State with Boone Pickens a few years ago. I mean, it's I think maybe even Oregon and Phil Knight. Phil Knight's still around, but as long as Mr. Ruiz is there and Mario is in his good graces, Miami, I think, is a school to watch here.
Mm-hmm. No, we're getting closer to football season. Where do we find more of you and your picks?
Yeah, thanks. Check us out online, goldsheet.com. We're probably we got 2 preseasons last time. We'll probably just do one more this weekend, kind of ease into it, and a few more next week. But baseball picks as well, and ramping up for football. So we're getting ready. Goldsheet.com. My picks there. Also Vegas Insider and DonBest.com.
Always great to catch up with Bruce Marshall. Bruce, you have a good weekend.
Good luck.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bruce Marshall with us every Friday from the Gold Sheet. The place to be is All-Star Chevrolet down Highway 78. First exit into Mississippi is Kraft Goodman Road. You're there. You're at All-Star Chevrolet, and you check out all the new 22 and 23 Chevys and more on the way in certified Chevy pre-owned, ready for the fall road trips and tailgating. Silverados, Suburbans, Tahoes, Trailblazers, or you can pre-order whatever you want. Kevin and Jeff want me to give a big shout-out to all of you who chose All-Star Chevy as the best place to sell any car, truck, and you can get your check today, even if you still owe money against it. Go to allstarautogroup.com and see all the pre-owned Grand Caravans, Ram Bighorn, Laramie, Silverados, Nissan Rogue, Jeep Grand Cherokee, Range Rovers. If you need maintenance or service on any vehicle, call Gary. He can get you in to a GM certified technician and soon. Call or go online to allstarautogroup.com. Remember, it's not the Pike, it's not Bartlett, it's not Mount Moriah, it's not Collierville, it's not South Haven, it's got to be Olive Branch. Find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Now, I know a guy who's been around the golf course. He's followed some golfers today. He's got to take in a lot of it. He's Dave Woloshin. He's next.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FUN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code FUN. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code FUN for a $5 bonus.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of O Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies, that's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
For the first time in history, the FedEx Cup playoffs will begin at TPC Southwind, August 10th through 14th. Don't miss your chance to watch the top 125 players from the FedEx Cup standings compete for the PGA Tour's ultimate prize, the FedEx Cup. Only 70 players will make it through Memphis and on to the next round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Daily grounds and upgraded ticket options are on sale now at FedExChampionship.com.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
I think this is the best chicken I ever had.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
We're back in and rolling from the FedEx Hub on the 18th fairway of the FedEx St. Jude Championship right here on TPC Southwind's grounds. Here with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe, he's Stats. And joining us, voice of the Tigers, been walking around. Still a little red-faced, got a little sweat
Dave.
going on, but it's Dave Willotion. Dave, how are you, man?
Good. You know what? It was a little moist this morning. Seriously. My walk here was a little late, so I was rushing. I was sweating. Walking around this afternoon, that humidity's going down. It's going to be unbelievable tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
It's going to be like the lowest humidity in forever.
I feel like first 2 days, it hadn't been bad. It hadn't been
could
hot,
be a lot worse.
No. It could be way worse.
We've been out here in August dates a little bit earlier than this, and it's been a lot more miserable than this.
I can remember his hometown where the PGA was when Nick Price,
St. Louis,
Bellerive.
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 When Nick Price won.
That was so hot that year.
Brutal.
I mean, this is a walk in the park.
This is, and Dave, I love it. I want to visit with you on so much. Truly, what you have accomplished in this market and at this event, I can't think of anybody here this week in the media, with maybe the exception of Jarvis Greer, who has been a credentialed media member at this event more than you. And you've seen it all. And so after the big flood Tuesday night, that literally and very sadly ended up being, a life-taking flood for a nice young man in Germantown. But that event on Tuesday night, it was something. But that didn't touch the flood of '99.
No,
the Ted Treba year.
Oh my God,
alongside 10 cars were floating like
no. People don't remember that. First off, can I say this? The guy's name, 37-year-old Will Drennan.
Thank you.
Who was at a football practice for his kid.
Yeah.
And he saw another kid get too close to the water, whose dad, by the way, was a coach on another team.
Yeah.
And he just gave his life up to save that kid. Will Drennan is a hero. I hope that his son knows that he's a hero. And Jack Salmons has purchased, I think it's 2,500 purple ribbons that all the FedEx volunteers will be wearing.
That is so
in honor of Will Drennan starting tomorrow. And it almost tears me up a little bit. But you are right.
And he's very tight with Darryl Smith and Matthew Young and a lot of the tournament people. Will was.
In 99, the water rose from the lake on 18 over the green. And we were together walking by that lot on 10, and there were cars literally floating.
And mine and Dave, the two cars on the high spot of that area was ours. We had no damage.
Exactly.
You couldn't drive out.
We did drive out. Well, we had to wait.
The water
receded
that quick,
and it was like somebody pulled a bathtub plug. In the water, you could see it recede like a bathtub.
That's crazy. Yeah. That was the craziest thing.
We've seen a lot out here.
Oh my gosh! Today there was another Denny McCarthy jarred a hole, jarred on. I think it was 6, which that's amazing because for the membership that's a par 5. So that would have been a double eagle. That guy eagles with a jarred shot. I don't know how far it was. And then, wasn't it Siwoo Kim yesterday? 168-yard jar. Mm-hmm. The only other one I can remember was the one to win the tournament by Dustin Johnson. Mm-hmm. But in 2 days, 2 jars, when we've had one since they opened up here at Southwind?
Dave, the golf course almost couldn't fight yesterday and today, and with lift clean and cheat, as Jack Nicklaus called it, lift clean in place.
Which you know what they call it now, don't you?
Preferred lie.
Preferred lie. That's terrible. I hate that.
It's like you're staying on the concierge floor.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the longest rounds of golf I've seen ever.
Well, first of all, I don't know why they did that today. I guess it was for time.
I guess.
I don't understand that. Now, I know tomorrow and the next day they better not do that. But I thought that was ridiculous. They could have played the ball down today.
I thought it dried up pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't think it was necessary. I don't know what. Maybe they felt like, well, we did it yesterday, and they're swapping the times, morning and afternoon, and we'll just keep it equitable that way. That's the only thing I can think of.
But the tournament couldn't be in better shape, could it? This field, all 4 major winners, last year's Olympic gold medal winner, this year's Rookie of the Year in Cameron Young, this year Player of the Year in Scotty Scheffler. The Scotty Scheffler
this year's Defector of the Year in Cam Smith.
You got that. What'd you think of the Scotty Scheffler Cam Smith dust up yesterday when it was on video that he walked through his line?
I didn't even know that. Honestly,
through his line. Yep.
On purpose?
Yeah, can't. Well, I
sure didn't mind.
I can't speak to it. Looked like it. Cam Smith looked up pretty. He looked right at him. What the hell are you doing?
Serious?
Well, for one thing, I don't think walking through somebody's line is the same thing as it used to be.
I don't either.
Because it used
Especially
to be
with soft spikes.
We all had steel spikes.
We all had
that
razor blades.
left holes.
It did.
And
you can repair it now.
Yes, and you can repair anything you see. It used to be
you can mess up the grain.
This is the craziest thing. It used to be. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but it used to be you could repair a ball mark, but you could not repair a spike mark.
Sure couldn't.
That's part of the reason why you couldn't step in the line. Not only did some of these guys, none of them wear real spikes anymore. Some of them wear soft spikes. I've got those shoes now that have no spikes at all, but they have that thing that it holds the ground really well. Yeah, riveted, whatever you want, but it leaves no marks at all. So walking through your line is not exactly the way it used to be, but it is etiquette.
Yeah.
It's sportsmanship. So maybe Scheffler. Look, I was wondering if they would boo Cameron Smith. I really was. But nobody has. Everybody's
and all I thought about, though, when that happened, could you imagine if the 3 guys actually got their temporary injunction, which I never thought was going to happen, but if they would have got it, that would have been.
Well, I love the way the judge.
Miserable.
That's the way she worded it, because the suit was over, or the stay was being applied for on the grounds of irreparable harm.
Yeah.
And irreparable harm, you've made more money than you would have made. And she pointed that out.
And you knew what was going to happen. It's not like they sprung this on you when you left for live, and they said, you're done with us. You knew what would happen.
They went judge shopping, and then the old trickeration, they get a different judge than they shop for. She was right.
She was on the money.
If you're talking about irreparable harm, you caused said irreparable harm. You're the one who knew that was going to happen. You still did it.
I never heard Jay Monahan say, if you want to go test the waters, we'll let you back. He said, if you leave, you're suspended and maybe permanently.
Yeah.
Dave, we're hardcore anti-live. What do you think the sentiment out on the grounds are? I was shocked yesterday. A nice lady found me and said, Brett, I couldn't disagree with you more. I had said I wouldn't go to a live event if it was in my front yard.
I listened to you yesterday talking about this. My contention is it's like everything in America right now. It's 50-50. Pick a side. You're going to have 50 on one side and 50 on the other. It's incredible. I don't see how anybody can be, honestly, for Liv, unless, I almost can see Phil Mickelson's point. He's 50 years old. He's never winning again. And they offered him $200 million. So what is Phil Mickelson?
And he's broke.
What is? Well, first of all, I don't know that he's broke. I don't know that I believe that he's broke. You think he lost $500 million gambling?
He's a gambler.
I know he's a gambler, but it takes a lot to lose $500 million. Okay?
He'll bet 2 flies flying around the room. That's how you go broke.
And there's a couple. Yeah.
Everybody up until Cameron Smith, you can maybe make the argument for Dustin Johnson. But remember, Dustin Johnson hasn't won in a while. Dustin Johnson has a bad knee. And Dustin Johnson, when he decided to leave, was 28th in the world. Everybody who they have lost to the Live Tour so far is either injured or old.
What about Matthew Wolff? 23 years old.
Matthew Wolff has some mental health issues.
Okay. Understood.
And I don't mean to belittle him, but that is a fact.
Did the great one did Gretzky cut Paulina and Dustin out of the wheel? Do they need cash that bad?
Well, I think he knows he's not going to win, and there's $100 million to ride out into the.
His father-in-law is a god in a country.
I don't know why he did it. I really don't. I mean, you're giving up legacy, but it is interesting. Think about it. Everybody that has gone, that they've taken, and they've offered this big money, they still can play in the majors because they have exemption from winning. And I don't know how you're going to get away from that. Cameron Smith can play in every major for 5 years.
But the majors can change.
What if Fred Ridley says no mas?
I think you'd be grandfathered in. I really do. I think, wait a second, when I won, the rule was, I get this. You can't change
rules
that.
Change. RNA told Greg Norman to scram at the big event.
For the next round. It's a little like the Bill Russell thing, which I think was great, by the way. Bill Russell, if you wear 6 now, you're cool till you retire. Then that team can never issue 6 again. I don't see how you could say to the Masters champion who gets pretty much till you're 65, you can't say, well, we're changing the rules on you now, can you?
Greatest Grizzlies, number 6 ever. Bonzi Wells or Mario
Kenneth
Chalmers.
Lofton, by the way, is number 6.
First of all, Bonzi Wells by a long shot. It's hard for me to think anything good about Mario Chalmers.
But on court with the Grizzlies, Mario was decent. I mean,
not as good as Bonzi Wells was.
Yeah, well, Bonzi, there was
Bonzi
good. There was up and
down.
down. There was up and down. Come on now.
I'm not giving Mario Chalmers anything. That 3 ended it for me.
And by the way, do you like this? Have you seen the beef with Cal and
yes,
and Stoops?
First of all, that was one of. Here's what I'll have to tell you about John Calipari, who I confess I love. I love John. John was always the greatest marketing coach, and still is, in the history of basketball, as far as I'm concerned. He's also one of the smartest guys I know. Now, he's got his own weaknesses and maybe a lack of discipline in some areas, maybe a little selfish on occasion, but he's a smart dude. That's the first time I can ever remember thinking to myself after I read that story, that's stupid.
Swing and miss.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, because he's trying to raise money for an indoor. He wants more. He wants more.
So you're going to put down your football coach in that program for that?
I think
that's
it's stupid. I think it's really stupid.
Yeah, and we're not talking about a football coach that was. Well, I'm trying to think of a nondescript.
Well, he may be the best Kentucky football coach in our lifetime.
I think a lot, but I also think
he's going to pass Bear this year.
But he's not better than Bear.
He's going to pass him as all-time winningest coach this year at Kentucky.
Bunch of Kentucky fans
longer.
Yeah, but a lot of them didn't.
A bunch of Kentucky fans took Stoops' side. I mean, they went to Stoops. I think a lot of people agreed. Yes, it is historically always been a basketball school, but I don't think a lot of people want to hear that. Football's completely second. We don't really care about it because Stoops has he's been unbelievable. He's been.
He's great. You have the duties all weekend of announcing players approaching the 18th green.
Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the 18th green. From wherever he is, I hope he makes it, Sebastian Munoz.
Windermere, Florida. Tiger Woods. Who wins?
Which I never got to say. I said Windermere, Florida several times, but I've never said Tiger Woods.
Who wins Sunday?
Oh, my gosh. I want...
Almost impossible.
See, Thigala, because I picked him as my shot. That would be double money, baby.
I was trying to tell you, by the way, he was hitting his driver yesterday after that 7-under. That surprised me that he was even out there.
I got to walk with him. Jason Munz and I walked with him and his family. His father, outgoing, happy-go-lucky, loud guy, like the hush you all signs. They had to keep getting in his face because he kept talking. And then his mother, who's just lovely and cute and quiet and classy, but she was telling us stories about him, and he may be a little bit more like her, but it's a great balance with his dad. He's terrific. He's a great player. I'd love for him to win. Look, I don't know if you've been watching Tony Finau.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Let me see. He's 3 under. He's 3 under today. Do you realize that if this holds up, that would be a 67
monster roll.
That would be his 9th straight round in PGA Tour competition of 68 or better. 9th straight. He lower than 68.
He's changed the narrative pretty quickly. About him.
He is rolling. Dave, thank you so much. We look forward to you being a regular with us. Another year of late August all the way through the Tigers in the NCAA tournament on Tuesdays at 3:30. I'll be with you on Wednesdays around 10:25 or so. You can always catch up with Gabe.
Yes. It's Gabe, what's going on with my defensive line? Gabe.
I don't know. Cameron Washington decides to get in the train. But that was quick, too. In and out. They're going to have some issues with depth. They got to figure it out.
You ready for football?
I am. I took my golf trips. I've taken my wife with
Hey, have I told you I picked up golfing, by the way? This actually happened.
Really?
I picked up golfing.
Where are you playing?
He walked one day, which I told him he was crazy.
Just right around my house. I went to Audubon a couple times.
Go to Fox Meadows.
I went to Fox Meadows last week. Quail Ridge, been out there.
Okay. You got to play Audubon quick because Audubon's closing October 31st. They're going to totally redo.
Well, honestly, Fox Meadows looked great last week.
Oh, yeah. Well,
looked great. They redid it. It
hasn't been played all summer. They all got new greens. I can't wait to go play it. Look, I know I got to get out. I could talk all day with you guys, but you've still got a lot of spots to do. I'm sure Stats has 4 lives still to go.
You taught me. Thank you, Dave.
I'm not saying anything.
We look forward to having you a bunch with us. Thank you,
You
Dave.
got it.
I really do appreciate it. In fact, it is time for Ghoul's Style on a Friday afternoon. Go to GhoulSalonSpa.com for that gift card, the perfect size, the perfect color, always the perfect gift for any occasion, any holiday, a birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, any occasion. Perfect for that Ghoul Salon gift card. Go to GhoulSalonSpa.com. They've been turning heads at Ghoul since 1932. They provide the clientele with a truly professional and unique fashion experience. So very nice. The service you get, all the different employees there. It's been a family tradition forever at Ghoul's. Saw a member of that family here today. Fathers, sons, daughters, everybody, granddaughters, everybody involved. All the locations. Never one far from you, whether you're downtown or way out east like we are out here at TPC Southwind. Exclusive to our area, the best holiday gift for any season. It's a Ghoul's gift card. Go to GhoulSalonSpa.com. For me, Gabe, it's easy. The style today is these volunteers that are the backbone of this tournament every year. 65 years of the tour coming through here. I don't think we got a 65-year volunteer. I'd put somebody up there maybe a little too aged, but I bet we got somebody with a first number starting with a 6, maybe a 60. I know in the 50s, and every person you ask, how many years for you? Gabe, they tell you 28th year, 17th year, 33rd year. It is a badge, a well-earned badge of honor. To you volunteers, everybody appreciates you. People take vacation time to be out here all week for the tournament and the festivities. They can't be applauded enough.
Yeah, that's every utterance. Completely agree. Well done. My gold style is going to go to my man Malik Willis last night in that Titans game. Look good, and he's raw. There's a lot of things that need to improve, but I thought he had a heck of a showing, and a lot of Titans fans definitely happy to see that out of a guy that they drafted in the 3rd round that they think could potentially be a future quarterback for them. Now, let's go ahead and get to our final break of hour number 2. When we come back, have a couple of college football notes to get to. Tigers camp. We have to talk about Cameron Washington, who has just decided to get back in the transfer portal along that D-line for the Tigers. That all next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. Have you been turned down by your homeowner's insurance in the past 12 months for damage you believe you're owed? Call Brian Elder Roofing now. Our professionals will do a no-obligation, thorough evaluation of your property and document all damage we find. Our fully certified Hague inspectors are trained to identify storm damage, to assess and build a full estimate in a language your carrier will understand. If there is no damage found, we will tell you just that. We build a data file of your actual storm damage for your carrier, all at no cost to you, free. So call now for your comprehensive roof guarantee from Brian Elder Roofing. Call us, 867-0303. That's 867-0303. Or schedule online at brianelderroofing.com. Because if you think it's a claim, we'll help you show it's a claim.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive, always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Memphis' oldest restaurant, Coletti's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And after 99 years, I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletti's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletti's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletti's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletti's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletti's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletti's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Collierville Auto Center is all about trucks and Jeeps, and the inventory is all stocked up. Been looking for that special ride? You're covered from the basics on up. Want to sell your truck or Jeep? Then bring it in and get a fair deal. The technicians at Collierville Auto Center know just about all there is to know when it comes to trucks and Jeeps. So don't be afraid to ask questions. They've probably heard them all. Every truck on the lot has been fully serviced from top to bottom and bumper to bumper, and there are warranties available. Collierville Auto Center, 651 West Poplar in Collierville, and online at colliervilleautocenter.com.
Swerving, speeding, and reckless driving can leave you in your own dust. Drag racing has its consequences. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. So slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Bon appetit.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, but now I got Rolling Stones in the bezel.
Thank you to all our sponsors that made this week's coverage for all of our shows possible out here at the golf tournament. So many of them were with us at SEC Media Days, with us year-round for a lot of events, if not all the events, and we thank them so much. Like our friends at First National Bank and Trust will be back with us this year on Fridays. Friday football forecast at 5:30 every Friday will be brought to you by First National Bank and Trust, with us at the golf tournament, with us now, and been with me all my life, and I appreciate it so much. First National Bank and Trust, with roots in Eastern Arkansas, is a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas since 1886, now firmly ensconced in West Tennessee. Eastern Arkansas's largest independently owned bank, now in West Tennessee, First National Bank and Trust, with offices at Ridge Lake Boulevard and in Collierville. First National Bank and Trust, they focus on their clients in the Mid-South with all their banking needs, personal banking, business banking, online banking, the mobile app. They do it the old-fashioned right way. Courage and confidence been on display by First National Bank and Trust officers throughout its history, in good times and in those challenging times. First National Bank and Trust, they've been recognized as one of the progressive banking institutions in the country. Commercial, residential, recreational. Customers depend on First National Bank and Trust because they know real estate. 901-498-5763 or contact Brooks Winchester or any member of the First National Bank and Trust team.
And, of course, always thanks to our other sponsors, Belly Acres, Barton Stone, Lucchese's, Mid-South Hobbies, Ronnie Gersani's, Hilltop Liquors, Coletta's, Sleep Cheap, Olive Branch Motorsports, Jason's Deli, Golf Sticks Pretzels, Mossy Oak Golf Club, and 10th Inning Sports Bar. Now, we have some good news and we have some bad news out of Tiger football camp. Now, I'll start with the bad news. Cameron Washington, who is Sam Houston State, he was the Freshman of the Year, WAC Freshman of the Year. His DN 6'2", 265 has officially gotten back into the portal. And this was a quick stay for him. Committed to the University of Memphis on April 24th, right back in today, August 12th. And it really is just the transfer portal. You look, but you sort of wonder what happened behind the scenes to have that short of a stay.
Gabe, I'm afraid every place in college football, when we start seeing more depth charts, more preference on rotation
starters,
and practice, you getting more practice reps than others, everybody starts looking around.
But here becomes the issue. This is the concern I have now. This is 2 D linemen in 1 week for the Tigers. You have Mo White leaving earlier this week. You have Cameron Washington. Now that depth is going to start to dwindle, and you need that.
You sure do.
And you can talk about, okay, Cameron Washington and maybe Mo White. Maybe they wouldn't have started, but you need rotational players. You can always compete to be a rotational player. You need 2 sets of all those guys up front, especially in a 4-down front. And this is going to cut substantially into that depth. Now, I think up front, Jalen Allen off the edge. I think when you look at Cameron Jackson coming into year 2 now, and he's switched numbers, he's ready to go. You're going to have some talent up there. But you have to make sure those guys get a blow every once in a while, and this is going to be tough.
Just to take a break, just to get a cup of water, and never mind a nagging injury or a season-ending injury.
Yes. Now, the good news, and, I mean, depends how you look at it, but I have always, and obviously I played for Coach Silverfield, and I got to see all of the connections he has created over the years when it comes to being in the NFL, being a GA at times. But what he did today I thought was really cool. Brought by Steve Hutchinson, who he helped coach when he was with the Vikings and Adrian Peterson. But that's a lot for a program to be able to have the connection to these type of guys. Obviously, goes and gets David Deal. Goes and gets David Deal this offseason. But to have guys that can tell their story, can be of reference to the players, I think is fantastic. And that's one thing that Ryan Silverfield has done a great job of since he's gotten to the University of Memphis, especially in that head coaching job. Now, that'll do it for hour number 2. Hour number 3, 5 o'clock hour is on the way. Last hour of the week, and we started with the man, the myth, the legend, John Vargas.
The summer clearance sale is happening now at Family Leisure. You can get up to $2,000 off on a swimming pool. Yes, you heard me. $2,000 off on swimming pools. Get it installed in 2022, you'll be ready for summer 2023. Plus, if you are more of a do-it-yourselfer, Family Leisure has specials that are just too good to pass up, with free ladder upgrades and a whole season worth of chemicals. No one else can offer that kind of deal. Looking for patio furniture? In-stock sets are up to 30% off. Play gyms and trampolines, you can get up to $1,000 off with free installation. We don't know how long these hot temperatures will last, but we do know these prices will not. So take advantage of the summer clearance sale. It's happening right now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Wooden Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and I have to really congratulate you, Mallory, who is also with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, for using his hunting skills when it comes to finding homes for his clients.
Thanks, Sheldon. Yes, I get them into their hunting gear by getting them pre-qualified with a local lender. Then we stalk the prey. We go on the hunt into the multiple listing service as well as other internet sites that other hunters, other agents, don't use. And once we find what we're hunting, we make the offer to beat other agents out there in the field.
Hugh, that's all well and good. But what do you do once you get the house?
Well, we can't very well mount it on the wall, but our clients will be living in their dream home while everyone else is still hunting.
Remember, while you, Mallory, moves Memphis at 497-9756, when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. Do it now. memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of O Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies. That's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
For the first time in history, the FedEx St. Jude Championship will kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs this August. Bring the whole family out to TPC Southwind August 10th through 14th to watch the PGA Tour's best try to make it through Memphis. Enjoy a variety of family-friendly activities throughout the course, food from local restaurant favorites, and more. Daily grounds and upgraded tickets are available now at FedExChampionship.com.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
I couldn't believe it either, but that thing runs like new.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
My nail tech knows how to keep it a little secret.
One more hour left from the FedEx Hub here on the 18th fairway at TPC Southwind. We're here for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Gabe and Stats with you. I'm Gabe. He's Stats, and joining us is John Varlas. Daily Memphian, covers just about everything. One of the hardest working men over there. John, how are you, man?
Gabe, I'm great, man. Really appreciate you and Brett having me on today. This is I'm a lot fresher and a lot more lively at 5 p.m. than I am at 7:25 p.m.
Well, so, you've been all over the place today, too. You've literally been all over the place.
I have. It's been a busy day, but I'm going to get through it.
You said coming from a commitment, Max Carroll committed over at Briarcrest, TCU, and then you just came back.
Yeah, just came back. Yeah, we had Max's family had a commitment ceremony over there at Briarcrest, and he picked TCU, Gabe, from a list of he had a good list of finalist schools. Michigan, what was the other one? Vanderbilt, I think, was in serious consideration. But ultimately, it came down to his long existing relationship with Anthony Jones, the former Cordova coach and the former Memphis Tiger assistant, and that's what won the day ultimately for Max and his family.
And I was banging that drum when he unfortunately stepped away from Memphis, went to TCU. Anthony Jones. That's a tough loss for the University of Memphis. Not to have a guy on staff that can really just hone in on this area.
And Anthony Jones, I mean, he's, Gabe, he was one of those guys you could see him in the high school ranks. He's just so smart, such a good, even when he was at Westwood, he did a good job with that program that, in recent years has really struggled with numbers and that kind of thing. He did a good job there. He did a great job at Cordova. He took them to places they've never been before in the postseason. And you can just see guys like Anthony Jones, guys like Faraji Phillips, newly hired at the University of Memphis. They're just so sharp, and you can just see they got it written on them. They got bright future just kind of written all over them.
John, we're pretty close, and we know each other pretty well, and we text back and forth quite a bit to each other. Visit pretty big with each other about things around town.
I hope the DOJ never gets a hold of those.
No, it's nothing that untoward.
No rage, right? No rage.
But we agree on this. This is kind of our mantra, kind of the Brett and John mantra. You can't do anything well without a passion for it.
Right.
Your passion for preps, your passion for sports. This week you're on golf, but John, you've made your bones on preps. You can tell every written word when I hear you with Greg and Eli, when you visit with us, you love it. You love that high school football scene on Friday night. You like that gym on a Tuesday night. And I don't think you could do a job well without that passion.
Well, I appreciate that a lot, and I definitely try to do that. I'm glad that comes through. I'm glad people like you can see that, Brett, because I respect you a lot and appreciate your kind words. But yeah, I mean, if and those kids deserve it. They deserve my best.
And the parents
deserve it. The coaches deserve it. Those coaches don't make a lot of money. My goodness, Gabe, I know.
I know. I'm aware. Yeah.
You know what it's like. I mean, but yeah, they deserve passion. They deserve it, and yeah, Brett, I mean, that's how I grew up. I just love sports. I love the competition. I love being out here this week and seeing the greats, the greatest golfers in the country do what they do. I mean, and I heard some talk today about this leaderboard is it's not a great leaderboard or whatever, but I mean, to me, it's
low man wins.
It's the competition of it. You're not guaranteed. I mean, you go to a Cardinal game, you're not guaranteed to see Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt.
Only pro wrestling has a predetermined winner.
Right. Sometimes Lars Nootbaar is going to be the hero.
That's right.
I mean, that's what makes sports great. If it comes down to a duel on Sunday between Straka and JJ Spawn,
shout out.
I'm down for it. Who knows where they'll be in 10 years?
Next Thursday night, we'll be out at stadiums. Next Friday night, a full Friday night schedule. Some Saturday games next weekend. I think we're going to do the same the very next week. Have a few on Thursday, a lot on Friday, some on Saturday. All right, I'm going to go kind of inside the Beltway, inside the interstate loop, the 240 loop. Give me a place to go on a Friday night that you think screams Memphis high school football. Give me one inside kind of the 240 loop and give me one outside.
Well, I think inside when those Whitehaven Tigers are rolling, it is
100% agree.
It is a fun environment. The people out there are so nice.
And the concession stand, best cheeseburger out at high school football ever.
Well, what I prefer, my meal of choice out at Whitehaven is those big red smoked sausages. The kind that the kind that leave the red on the bun. Yeah, they do that at Whitehaven, and it's
the King Cotton.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. But no, they take such pride in that program. They pride in their stadium, and their marching band is usually phenomenal. Put on a great halftime show. Whitehaven's a lot of fun when Melrose is rolling really good. Melrose Stadium's a great place because the fans come in from the surrounding neighborhoods, and
with the march.
We are right there. Well, there's holes in the fence, and they'll sell you a sandwich or some fried chicken or maybe an adult beverage through the fence if that's your preference. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So places like that, but yeah, and you said outside. I mean, outside, I like going to those places where you can kind of get that small town feel, like your Arlingtons and your Colliervilles, where the whole town is out there. The Arlington Youth League is out there.
The new stadium at Bartlett.
All the cheerleaders. The 5-year-old cheerleaders up to the high school cheerleaders are all out there, and they've got concessions galore. They've got bands. They've got an inflatable tiger, or they got an inflatable dragon out there at Collierville.
Yep.
They just put on a big show for the whole town, and I like that. You get that small town feel. Within the city kind of thing.
Collierville improved those facilities and their school so dramatically over the past 5 years. It's crazy over there.
There's no doubt, and the good work that they've done at Bartlett too.
Right.
Shout out to Bartlett. That's a great environment as well. But yeah, it's just so much fun, and I do have a passion for it, Brett, and I'm excited for this week. I mean, this week coming up for sure.
John, I tell young people in this, there is a void and a pot of money to be made. And I can't do it on Friday night because I'm off with Ole Miss. But we remember Coach Tommy Harrison, and we remember what he would do with that high school football scoreboard show. And you would call in, other people would call in, announcers would call in from doing games. Somewhere out there, I'm telling you, people, there's money to be made on Friday night. You can come to Flynn Broadcasting at WHBQ, and I promise you, we'll put on a Friday night high school football roundup show at 9 o'clock and go around the city, go around the county, go into North Mississippi, Eastern Arkansas. There's money to be made out there.
I wish I had the time and the knowledge to do it, because you're right. There is money to be made. That was a great show. That was a tremendous thing. Back in the old days, Brett, we had to. We'd be at a game, and then we'd have to speed back to the commercial appeal from wherever we were from and file our story, So we'd be out at Whitehaven, and the game ends at 10 o'clock, and, your deadline is 10:45. Well, you got to, haul tail from Whitehaven to downtown Memphis and get your story turned over. But, while you're doing that, you're listening to that show, and so, getting the knowledge. And, nowadays it's a lot different. I just go home and knock it out on my kitchen table, and, it's a lot different. And some of the fun has been lost, but it's still fun. There's no doubt.
All right, John, you got to holler at me about my guy Gene over at Germantown last year. That was unbelievable what he was able to do. And through COVID, there was so much struggle, and obviously I was part of that coaching staff, and I obviously got this job, so things happen. But what he did year one was insane. Cody Jones off to Michigan now. What do you think they'll be able to do this year?
I think they'll be fine, Gabe. That's a really, really tough region because Collierville lost some talent, but I don't think they're going to fall too far back. I think Whitehaven is going to be better than they were last year. Last year they were 7-4, and when you're 7-4 at Whitehaven, that's pretty much a disaster because they're used to winning 12, 13, 14 games every year. So I think Whitehaven's going to be better, but I think Germantown's going to be right in there fighting for a top 4 finish in a playoff berth. Their quarterback Isaiah Tate is really good, and I saw where he just committed earlier this week. They picked up a really good running back, a transfer from Fairleigh, named Malik Mason, who was outstanding last year at Fairleigh. So it's going to be interesting to see how Malik does making the jump up from 2A competition to 6A competition. I think he can. And going back to Gene, I mean, he's right in there with Anthony Jones and Faraji Phillips.
He's rose up quick.
Yeah, those guys that just have it. They just know, they know what they're doing. They're great coaches. They're passionate, hungry, young, and they just do a fantastic job.
And for those that don't know out there, you have to turn your eyes toward what Gene's doing, because I when I got there and seeing what was going on, obviously through COVID and everything else I just sort of mentioned, but Germantown before that, the struggle that they had gone through to get to that point, handing it off to someone like Gene, I mean, that's tough to do for anybody, but Gene is taking that torch and ran with it.
He did, and he did a tremendous job at Fairleigh. I mean, I don't know what Gene's future is, and I know Coach Salisbury's not going to stay at Whitehaven forever, so you wonder if Gene being a Whitehaven graduate and a former Whitehaven linebacker might take over that program one day and see what he can do there. But I mean, that's all speculation. He's doing a fantastic job at Germantown, and I think Collierville, Whitehaven, and then I think you got Germantown, Bartlett, and Houston. 3 teams battling for those final 2 playoff spots. It's going to be a dogfight.
Be good.
John, you talked about this leaderboard at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Right now, the biggest name on it is probably Tony Finau. You scroll down, Adam Scott won the Masters. Emiliano Grillo, he had a good round today. He's trying to join his countryman Fabian Gomez is winning here in Memphis. I don't mind a different name or two on the leaderboard. We talked about low man wins on Sunday, and also a lot of times that PGA Tour experience. Justin Thomas, Matt Fitzpatrick, Cam Smith, they're going to have a say-so over this next 36.
For sure. You just and like I said, you're not guaranteed anything with a sporting event. You just never know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of it. But, yeah, I mean, if it would be nice to see Finau make a charge just because it would be a good story. He's played such great golf here lately. I mean, those two tournaments he won back-to-back, I mean, I looked he was a combined 43 under par in those 2 tournaments, Brett. I mean, you just don't
it's one of the all-time rolls.
Yeah, you just don't see that in winning 2 golf tournaments. So, and he's a great player, seems like a really great guy, and that would be a good story. But, it would be a cool story to see somebody like Sepp Straka break through or Spawn or, Will Zalatoris had a great day today, went from 1 over to, now he's kind of in the mix with a great round today. So, we still got plenty of golf left to go, and the conditions are good for some scoring this weekend, hopefully, and who knows what's going to happen. But regardless, it's going to be fun, and I think everybody out here is having a great time, whether it's Sepp Straka atop the leaderboard or Jack Nicklaus, to be honest with you. Everybody out here is having a good time.
No, you've been out here since about the crack of dawn. Who you been following around? Who you been watching, keeping an eye on?
I kind of camped out over there by the media tent at that 10th tee and just watch everybody come through.
Yeah.
I kind of like to do that. I like to just watch everybody come through as opposed to follow one group. I don't have a favorite. I did kind of pay attention to. I am kind of paying attention to Tony Finau just because I'm kind of interested in his story and I think as a person, I think he seems like a pretty decent person. So I'd like to see him do well. But beyond that, nobody in particular.
Yeah. Last thing for our friend John Varlas from the Daily Memphian, Mr. Preps there. And this week riding golf, he could ride anything, but his passion is at the Preps. He does such a good job with it. Any chance West Tennessee ever gets back involved in hosting state championship football, or is that gone for as long as I can see?
The problem, Brett, is the powers that be need to put in a bid for that. Mm-hmm. It was in Cookeville at Tennessee Tech for a long time. Then the contract expired and it came up for bid. And Chattanooga put in a wonderful bid, and they've got it. They've got it now. Chattanooga over there what's the name of it? Finley Stadium, or over there on Reggie White Boulevard in Chattanooga.
Chattanooga's boomtown.
I love Chattanooga. It's a great place, and you turn down Reggie White Boulevard and you go right into the stadium. It's a lot of fun, a lot of history down there too. But yeah, Chattanooga put forth a great bid. I think that's it. We talk. Spring fling. Memphis had it here years ago, and I don't know that they've put forth a bid since. I mean, those things do come up for bid, and I think that's the thing. You just got to get involved. You got to get everybody on board civically and leadership-wise, and put your package together and see where it goes. The problem with Tennessee, though, is just the geography of the state. All the TSSAA volunteers, all the infrastructure, the TSSAA, they're all in the Nashville area.
Not in West Tennessee anymore.
Picking it up and moving it to Memphis or moving it to the Knoxville area, for that matter, is difficult.
In the day when Melrose closed out that 36-0 with John Gunn, Alvin Wright, James Bradley, I want to say was those finals played at the Coliseum?
That was played at the Mid-South Coliseum, and I was only about 5 years old at the time, so I couldn't tell you why it was at the Mid-South Coliseum. But it was. Yeah. Verdi Sales actually has video of that game, and you see it, the court.
Oh, that's gold.
Mid-South Coliseum. And
that ubiquitous center court logo.
And you got John Gunn looking out there like, I swear.
Chris Webber.
No, he's looking like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He's looking like Kevin Durant 40 years before Kevin Durant, or 30 years before Kevin Durant. It's amazing.
Alvin is a senior. James Bradley was a junior.
There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been done before, if you know where to look.
That's it. We do. John Varlas, thank you so much.
Hi, it's my pleasure, guys. I'm here for you anytime, and I really enjoy listening to you guys. Like
Absolutely.
I said off air, you guys are a lot of fun. Doing a great job.
Always appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the weekend. John Varlas from the Daily Memphian talking, of course, high school sports with us, and also golf. He's on the coverage the rest of the weekend. Follow him and read him at the Daily Memphian. This hour of our show brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road and online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. They are very proud to serve DeSoto County and the surrounding area. All the cars test-driven, checked out thoroughly, bumper to bumper, head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make, every model. If it's not on the lot at DeSoto Auto Sales, they'll go find that special car that you want just for you. You'll be treated like family by a kind, courteous staff at DeSoto Auto Sales. Down-home environment. They care about your time, and they want you to enjoy the ultimate car experience. They know we live in a world today that time really matters. That's why they have it so simplified and so streamlined and so efficient at DeSoto Auto Sales. Test drive your car, credit proof, paperwork completed, everything done in 45 minutes or less. You'll be holding the title in 45 minutes or less at DeSoto Auto Sales. Go online and check out all the referrals and look at all the beautiful cars at DeSotoAutoSales.com. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County for that town and country experience at DeSoto Auto Sales.
Our coverage here at the FedEx St. Jude Championship is winding down, but we still got you for about 30 more minutes. Make sure you hit us up at the listener line, 901-360-8255, and make sure that you hit us up there, questions, comments, concerns about anything we talk about for the rest of the day. Now, a quick leaderboard update before we get to a break. J.J. Spawns is still at the top. Came into the day leading, tied for the lead, but he's through 15 at 11 under for the tournament, 3 under for the day. Sepp Straka, we know, is right there with Troy Merritt, tied for second at 10 under. Denny McCarthy, 9 under. Brian Harmon tied for 5th at 8 under with Tony Finau. Tony Finau, I just can't get over that. That's just a ridiculous
making a late push for Player of the Year.
Yeah, he really is. Outside of that, a bunch of guys tied there at 7th at 7 under. Adam Scott, K.H. Lee, Sahit Tagala is done for the day. Kevin Kisner, and it really is looking like that cut line is going to sit right there at 2 under. And there's a lot of guys that are going to be missing.
And the tournament within a tournament, perfect example. Tyler Duncan goes out, shoots 63. Everybody was on 60 watts for a little while, or maybe tying the course record at 61. He started the day 118th in the FedEx Cup standings. Now he's projected to be 71st and could improve even that over the weekend. Top 70 gets into Delaware. That would be life-changing for a Tyler Duncan.
But it's looking like Scotty Scheffler is going he's going to have an uphill battle to end up making the cut. He's through 15 on the day. He's had a decent day. He's 2 under, but he's going to have to make a late push.
Young got the par 5 16 to play, the tough par 4 17, and the brute number 18.
Cam Young still at 16 at 1 under. Rory just completely looks like it will be over for
Rory
him.
is
he's
headed
already
to the airport.
You think he might be on a plane already?
He could be.
He might be on a jet already. But outside of that,
Cam Young +2 today.
Yeah. Outside of that, Jordan Spieth going to miss. Jordan Spieth, rough day. My gosh, 5 over on the tournament through 17. He ain't going to save himself. But let's go ahead and get to this break. When we come back, we talk more golf, and we talk with Clint Van Court, one of our wonderful sponsors from Mossy Oak Golf Club.
You have opinions?
You bet.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Like, I don't know. Can you just pick something and order? Yeah, but anyway, where are you at? You don't...
It only takes 2 seconds of distracted driving to become a statistic. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. Slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you have nightmares about your finances? Are you struggling to save for emergencies? Are you wanting to buy a home and not sure how to get the funds to do so? Well, it's time to get a handle on your finances with a personalized session with Nicasia, your money coach and certified personal financial counselor with Tate Enterprise. She is available to help you create your vision of financial freedom. It all starts by booking your session today at NicasiaTate.com. That's NAKASIA Tate.com. Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing, and they've only been around for 5 years. Choose from hundreds of choices of wood, tile, vinyl, and carpet. Timmy, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood, tile, vinyl, and carpets. Jenkins meets all your needs from renovations to home building to installation. Enjoy buying excellent quality products at awesome prices. They're all about customer service at Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando. Call 662-469-9350.
Hi, I'm news correspondent Bob Woodruff. In 2006, a roadside bomb struck the armored vehicle I was riding in while reporting from Iraq. I sustained a life-threatening traumatic brain injury. The military term, "got your six," means I have your back. And that day, our service members had mine. During my recovery, I learned firsthand the challenges facing our service members who return home with injuries. While serving, their fellow service members always had their six. Now that they're home, it is our turn. We started the Bob Woodruff Foundation to make sure that the camaraderie and support they relied on in the military carries on, and we need you. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative and help us be there for impacted veteran service members and their families. They've had our backs. It's time we have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org. That's gotyoursix.org, using the number 6.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
You drove it, you love it. What more do you need to know?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
We will visit with Clint Van Court from Mossy Oak Golf and from Golf Sticks Pretzels coming up. I want to tell you about the commissary first and all the great weekend activities they have going on there. And I know Clint's boss and good friend, Mr. George Bryan, in West Point, Mississippi, and used to live in Memphis. He loves going to the commissary, and I've been with him quite a bit, and I know he's been in Memphis some recently and always likes to make a stop out at the Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar, and see Walker Taylor, a good friend of his, friends with a lot of people in Memphis. George is, and a lot of people adore him, and we look forward to visit with Clint. But we love the commissary, whether it's the new one at Houston, Levy, and Poplar or the original in Germantown. Memphis-style barbecue and ribs, the slow way, the authentic Memphis-style way. Start that barbecue feast with the appetizers like the barbecue nachos that were invented at the Germantown Commissary in the early 80s, or the cheese plate, or the tamales, smoked chicken wings, all so good. And if you're craving an easier way to order, text commissary to 33733. Dig into the ribs, the shoulder, chopped or pulled on a sandwich, a big sandwich, or you can get it on the plate, all the sides, beans, slaw, deviled eggs, bread as well. You can order it by the pound or a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a 12-pack. The salads are good, everything's so good. And soon we will be talking about the holiday bird coming up mid to late October. We'll start pushing the holiday bird at the commissary. And those desserts like the lemon icebox pie or the terrific banana pudding. Coming up, tailgating time. Tiger fans, you can head to Starkville for opening weekend to play the Bullies. You need to load up with the commissary. Next weekend for high school football, all the tailgating should start at the commissary, 901-754-5540 or online at commissarybbq.com in Collierville and Germantown in those party areas. We get this cool wind we're expecting tonight and this humidity drops. We can get out on the patio tomorrow night at the new Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar.
Clint Van Court is the marketing director of Mossy Oak Golf Club and Golf Sticks Pretzels. He joins us now. Clint, how are you?
Hey, Clint.
Hey, Brett. How we doing?
We're doing well. Gabe Kuhn also with you. And Gabe played football for the University of Memphis, and he asked me today, he said, who would you describe as Clint's team? I said, he's a bully.
Yeah.
So y'all go at it on opening night.
Let's hear it. What do you
3rd.
think? I need to hear your predictions.
Oh, for the opening weekend?
Well, opening weekend, of course.
Opening weekend. Well, we're in a little.
I'm not feeling that 16
spot.
and a half, but I'm not, being a former, that 16 and a half is, come on, that's crazy talk.
Let's be honest here. This is Mike Leach's 3rd season, Will Rogers' 3rd season in the system, and I see a lot of juniors and seniors on that front 6 of ours, and if you know anything about the Bulldogs, we're pretty stout on defense annually.
Right.
It's going to be fun for sure. And Clint, we thank you so much for what Mossy Oak Golf Link, with the golf course, what Golf Sticks Pretzels done for us at SEC Media Days and this week at the golf tournament. We hope we can do more into the fall. And I know coming up that weekend, you may be already full at Mossy with Tiger fans coming down and maroon-clad fans that like to stay out there at Mossy and stay and play. But I know tee time's still available, and we also know this. We're going to get hungry playing golf. We're going to get hungry going to football, and we need golf sticks, pretzels. But tell our listeners and some Razorback fans in this area when they come down in October to play Mississippi State in Starkville.
Well, absolutely. When y'all come down to Starkville, Razorback and Tiger fans, make sure that you take a look at Mossy Oak and Old Waverly Golf Clubs to satisfy your golfing needs for the weekend. These are two of the top 100 golf courses in America. If you do plan to fly in, we do have shuttle service coming out of the GTR regional airport. We have a lot of openings, actually, Brett, on the weekdays. We're filling up really fast for those weekends, especially the SEC ones. So if you do want to get in with us, you can contact Claire Ferguson. She'll set up all of your golf group needs. And go ahead and do that quickly because we are filling up during the fall. That's a really busy time of the year for us.
Clint, and I know what y'all have done with Golf Sticks Pretzels, and I know it's a source of pride for Mr. Bryan, who has so many friends in this area, and so many people just think so much of George and his wife and his entire family. And what a great novel concept that's taken off for y'all in all the area golf shops here, including here at TPC Southwind.
Yeah, 100%. And we also have tons of support coming out of Colonial and Wedgwood Golf Club. Just to name a few, Memphis has been more than, accommodating at their clubs for the product. You know, this was a George Bryan idea in 2019. We brought it to life in 2020, and we're going really strong, expanding into Eastern Tennessee and into Alabama. So we're really excited about all the courses that we're adding, all of the people that enjoy our products all across the Southeast.
And Clint, curiously, when it comes to golf sticks, where did the idea hatch? How did it come to fruition? And we tell our listeners sort of what the flavor profile is and how they get satisfied on the golf course.
Mr. Bryan, he's always nibbling, isn't he?
He's always nibbling. He's always looking for a great idea. And he was out actually at Mossy Oak Golf Club, and he was eating a bag of pretzels, and he thought, man, what a fantastic snack out here on the course. There's not too greasy like a bag of potato chips are, and they're hearty with a lot of carbs. And if you know anything about, being out in the southeastern sun playing golf, you
I did it playing football. Yeah, I know about
you did.
No question.
So, yeah, and, recarbing up, getting you through the back nine. This is a fantastic hearty snack that'll get you all the way through your afternoons. And rumor has it there's a birdie in every bag, and it sure does go good with beer.
It sure does. Clint, the tour de force that George, that he is, whether it was in business with Bryan Foods or whether in friendships, going his fandom last weekend in St. Louis with grandkids and friends to see the Cardinals and the Yankees. I mean, when you try to keep up with him, it's something to see. And I was with him. Ole Miss was playing Alabama in 2015. I was staying at Old Waverly with him, and he was just so kind, as always, to everyone. And on Friday morning, he handed me a pair of gum boots. He said, "Put these on. You got the wrong shoes." Gil Hantz was there, and I got to walk the golf course with Gil Hantz and George Bryan and see what Mossy Oak would come to and be someday. And they were going over ideas for hole locations. And, this is going to be a layup area. You could see it coming together, and it has.
That's tremendous, and we're really proud to have partnered with Gil on Mossy Oak, and that was in 2015. So the course has developed since then, has matured. There's been a couple alterations, and we have a great superintendent and his team do a tremendous job and getting that course championship ready for all of our guests coming from all over the country. And you did mention Mr. Bryan and his fandom of the Cardinals, and I was happy that whenever he was up there, they ended up catching the Yankees on their little bit of a, what would you call it, a downturn here lately?
Well, they're in a legitimate downturn because I think they're so far ahead, Clint, that they can afford a little kind of operational pause because it looks like it's going to be a Yankees-Dodgers year.
It sure does.
Mm-hmm. Now, Clint, last thing for you before we let you go. You have some things you got to get done. Curious for your Bullies. What are we thinking? How many wins? How many losses? Lightly
10 wins, 11
pencil right
wins
now
are undefeated.
Next time we talk, you might have to put it in pin. But what do you think about it right now?
Well, right now, I've been following the Bulldogs since I went up to Mississippi State as a student. I didn't grow up a Mississippi State fan, but once every 4 years, I get really excited, and we hit that 4-year mark, and I'm getting pretty excited for this one. Yeah, I think that this has got a potential to be a 9-win season if the ball bounces our way, possibly 10. But we got to win that Egg Bowl. We don't lose it 3 years in a row. That does not happen often. So looking forward to changing the tide and the narrative in the state for sure.
And we'll see how that goes. We'll see. But Clint, appreciate you joining us.
And keep the bowl streak rolling.
That's right.
No question about it. Clint, appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Clint. Thank you for everything. We so appreciate
you. So much.
Thank you, Clint. You got it. Clint Van Court with us. And you hear his enthusiasm, and it's a must to be around George Bryant and his family. You better have a good attitude, and you better be optimistic because they always are, and so many people in this area. Prayers answered the last year with George and his health, and we appreciate him so much.
Now, a leaderboard update. We do have everybody, a lot of tie here at the top. 3 guys tied for first. Looks like J.J. Spawn on 15 bogeyed, or on 16 he bogeyed, so he is now only 2 under for the day. He is 10 under on the tournament. Seb Straka, Troy Merritt, J.J. Spawn tied at 10 under. Denny McCarthy, Denny McCarthy alone at 4. At 5 under. Brian Harmon alone he's tied with a lot of people at 5. At 8 under. Tony Finau and Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith has made a heck of a turn here, and I know that's going to be not received all that well that he's playing at a high level, but he's been doing it all year. He's been doing it all year.
He might be the villain on Sunday, and Dave mentioned booing. I had not thought about that.
I haven't heard it yet, though.
What would be that reception? Walking up 18, clear-cut winner. I mean, he could make a 9 and win. I wonder, would the Memphis crowd? I've never heard of boo one.
I haven't, and I haven't heard anything about it today. And you really would think that he would have gotten some type of boo at this point, walking onto a tee, walking onto a green, if he was going to get it, if he was in
contention. I didn't hear a hiss.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a thing. So. That's interesting, though. But he's had a great day.
But it's something to consider.
Yeah, it is. Now, outside of golf, we'll give you one more leaderboard update as we get out for the day and for the week. But we do have some preseason football going on right now. I'm not sure.
Early start.
Yeah, we got Falcons and Lions. The Lions at the front of the sort of NFL, everybody's collective minds because of what they're doing in Hard Knocks. But they had a quick drive. They went down and scored. It's 7-7 in that. But here's the big news, and it's on the other side for the Falcons. Get this. This is awful. Falcons drafted this year, and then they went and got wide receiver out of USC, Drake London, who had some knee issues heading into his senior year at USC. Had to miss some substantial time with a torn ACL. Already in the first drive that they went down, he has hurt his knee and he will not return to the game. There's been it has not been said if it's serious, but if he has to leave the game, he's not going to return. You would tend to think that, especially coming with his injury history.
Gabe, we talked about it yesterday. Life changing for young guys out there. I mean, the chance at the brass ring, the chance that they're shot at fame and fortune, and you look at that level, you want it all. Yep. You want the winning and you want the cash. Now, I don't see anything at all wrong with either one, and it's impossible for all of them to get it. But I want them to have the fair shot. And if you get hurt this early, it's the easy way for a team to cut you or move on.
Well, he's a first-round pick. Yeah. They ain't going to do that. But it's the truth of it. That's absolutely. If you have a guy who's an undrafted free agent who tears his ACL in camp, you hold him on the IR because you have to pay his bills and you can't just cut him immediately. You have to pay him his salary. But at the same time, as soon as he's done with that, they have moved on. They sign another guy immediately.
Yeah.
It's the bottom of the turnover at the bottom of these rosters is tough to deal with.
It's from that great movie. Every time I say it's a sport, you say it's a business. Every time I say it's a business, you say it's a sport. It's both.
Now, let me ask you this, and this sort of goes along with what we're seeing with Drake London. Patrick Mahomes is going to start and will play a quarter versus the Bears. Do you think that that's a little – I would be terrified to throw him out there in the
package
preseason.
Is probably really safe,
yes.
really conservative, and they've told him dipping it out of bounds and going into a hook slide is a
I wouldn't let him run the ball at all. If you feel like you're going to get sacked, fall down. I just –
surrender.
Take a knee. I don't care. Whatever you have to do but you do risk it, and you would risk it in practice. Non-contact.
Whatever
injury,
you have
stuff
to do,
like that.
don't risk being out there opening day.
I would be terrified to throw Patrick Mahomes, my $500 million investment out there in the grand scheme. $500 million, what he's owed. Now,
it wasn't that long ago. $500 million would buy a team.
You know what? Yeah, that is true. You know what's interesting though about his contract? I feel like it'll look like a deal here in a couple of years. It doesn't. It won't look like that much. $45 million a year.
Gabe, it will, and people will
or
go
50.
crazy. But that's the marketplace. They're making that much.
Yep.
We can't really associate ourselves with that kind of money because it's just so abnormal to most of us. But that's the marketplace, and I want them to get it.
Last thing before we get to our final break of the day and the week, Kirk Cousins. He's back. COVID-19 got him. He's tested positive. He'll miss Sunday's game versus the Raiders.
Some always gets him, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, last year he didn't. I'm pretty sure he was unvaccinated, correct? He was one of the outwardly unvaccinated guys. Yeah, and he said he wanted to be in a protective bubble and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I am there on the fact that there's two ways I feel about this. I think both things can exist, although a lot of people don't think about it this way. It's a little more nuanced for me. I think it's dumb not to have the vaccine at this point. I think you should go get the vaccine. But I also think it's kind of ridiculous that we continue to test the way we do in these leagues.
That we're still doing this.
Yes.
And look,
I think both things are true.
I saw a nice couple younger than me. I'm going to say in early 50s, late 40s, early 50s on the golf course today. They were wearing their mask. I don't really know or understand why. But, okay.
You can.
I mean, it was their business. I didn't say a word to them. I don't want them telling me to put one on, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to get mad at you. I just, for me, and it's a personal decision. It's unnecessary at this point. But for them, they felt like they felt compelled to. You see at the front gate, you see that masks, they say, we recommend them if you'd like to.
I wore a red shirt today. You wore a blue one.
Yeah.
To each their own.
On that note, let's get to our final break. When we come back, Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with all the hottest brands in golf at the best prices, featuring tailor-made stealth carbon woods and irons. Callaway's Rogue ST collection of woods and irons, Titleist's T-Series irons and Vokey wedges, and Ping's G425 woods and irons. All this and more at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Swing by and receive a free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those two teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan. Which is a team now, in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
At Vanelli's Deli, new summer menu items: roast beef sandwich, Italian chef salad, or my favorite is the chicken breast salad. Gigantic bowl of lettuce, black olives, grated cheese, sliced mushrooms, green peppers, diced chicken breast, oh, with ranch dressing, yum. And ask about Vanelli's Deli catering, family or corporate. Call today and ask for Charles at 901-754-2246.
The best golfers in the world are coming to Memphis for the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM will be broadcasting live at TPC Southwind throughout the day, Wednesday through Friday of tournament week, keeping you up to date with the latest tournament news and talking with players and officials. Our coverage from TPC Southwind on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM is brought to you by Landers Ford and First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. It's also sponsored by Hilltop Liquors, Coletta's, Sleep Cheap, and Jason's Deli.
In the alley since 1948, Mr. Charlie Virgo's world-famous Rendezvous. John, you and your family continue the great work at the Rendezvous. Next year will be the 75th birthday party. Let's start the party now.
Brett, there are so many visitors in town to watch the emerging Grizzlies and to see our great sights and sounds in Memphis. I see them all the time at the restaurant. I want them to know Memphis is a great foodie town. There are so many family-owned, locally-owned great restaurants that have stood the test of time. I won't mention all because the list is too long and I don't want to leave anybody out, but I will mention Jim's Place Grill because my cousins own it. It's a great restaurant and they've stood the test of time, and they are this year celebrating their 100th anniversary. And of course, any visitor that comes to Memphis needs to eat barbecue. And I've said this before, there's great barbecue all over Memphis. I know because I eat it. But if you just have one night to eat barbecue in Memphis, it should be the Rendezvous. It's such a special place with a special staff. And by the way, next year we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary.
The world-famous Rendezvous, serving Memphis in the Mid-South, and with the shipping, serving the world.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
This is a damn fine automobile, if you want my honest opinion.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskell.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
How about this? What I learned today. Second and third time since 1938, the NIT semifinals and championship won't be held at MSG, won't be held in New York. Instead, the NIT has opted to move the semifinals and the finals to, in 2023, Las Vegas, in 2024, Indianapolis. That's a change from the norm, no question about it.
And COVID did a lot of that, but also the times have changed. The NCAA now running both. I see nothing at all wrong with it.
Yeah, and I know that people trash the NIT, but you're right. The traditional MSG final
when they brought
game,
everybody to the Garden, it was great, and that's been a long time ago.
I know, but it's still going to be different. It's still going to be weird.
Gabe, I learned over yesterday and today, certified, confirmed, if TPC Southwind did not give up a 60 or yet another 59 in Memphis like Al Guyberger, if it didn't do it over these 2 days with a lift clean in place, then it sure won't tomorrow and Sunday, or it may never if it didn't allow one. A lot of people were making runs at it, but nobody joined Al Guyberger in Memphis golf lore, and I'm kind of glad of it. I like it. I like the Al Guyberger history. I just don't know if I want many more 59s in Memphis.
I get you. What I could have done without is I really do enjoy the UFC's product. I think they've done a good job. Dana White, as much as I can't stand what has happened today and what I'm about to mention, he has built that thing up from the ground, and that's the truth of it. But Dana White today says that he will never, and literally says these guys will get paid what they're supposed to get paid, and he will never plan fighter races. And for those that don't know what's been going on, Jake Paul, we know YouTube turned boxer, has called it out. A lot of people have called out the fact that Dana White doesn't pay his fighters enough. They don't get the boxing purses. They don't get the type of money that most professional athletes get. They get limited in the grand scheme of things. You look at around the world, around this country, when you talk about revenue sharing.
Is it close to fair? Because I just don't know the dynamic of it.
And I'm about to explain this. When you talk about revenue sharing in most American sports, it's 50-50. 45-55, right? Where it does tend to favor a lot of the owners, but at the same time, it's more of a 50-50 split. It's closer. He pays his fighters less than 20% shared revenue. Their revenue sharing, he gets 80, the rest get 20 or less.
How's he going to keep top-level fighters?
I think that's unbelievable, but the truth of the matter is they need competition. The Pro Fighting League's not going to do it. The rest of MMA is not going to do it. The Eagle FC, which Khabib Nurmagomedov has started, is not going to do it. He needs competition, or this will continue to happen. But it really is ghoulish on Dana White's part to have such a violent sport, the most violent sport we've ever seen. I mean, they're just absolutely fighting, tearing each other.
That's why I can't watch
the bleeding, the injuries these guys sustain, and
the
women as well, and the brain damage that they have. To pay them suboptimum wages, to pay them not enough, I just think it's ghoulish and it's nasty.
I'm ready to amend this if I find out different information about it, but I could have done without yesterday. Scotty Scheffler, and I said earlier I was honored, and I was, to be there at Augusta National. He slipped on the green jacket back in April. But Augusta National founder Robert Tyre Jones, he would not have approved of that yesterday if that was intentional, to walk in a fellow competitor's line. I just think that was bogus. If I'm wrong about this in the intent, I'll be more than happy on Monday to amend. But I guarantee you Bobby Jones wouldn't have allowed that, wouldn't have liked that.
Well, you can talk about intent all you want. He knew what he was doing. Yeah.
Nothing else,
he can say, I didn't try to.
He breached his tower.
You can say I didn't try to. You still did it, and it was unsporting.
Cool.
What I'm looking forward to see how this leaderboard shakes itself out over the weekend FedEx St. Jude Championship. JJ Spawn through 17. He just gained another stroke, so he is at the top, alone at number 1 at 11 under. He's 3 under on the day.
Compulsory's ending. Chestnut cracking starts tomorrow and Sunday at TPC Southwind. It'll be fun. It'll be a crowded leaderboard. It'll be big crowds out here. Look forward to that. All the NFL preseason games, college football camp news, quarterback news, Cardinals Brew Crew in St. Louis, O's at Rays.
Huge series.
Red hot Phillies at Mets, Yankees, Red Sox. And I'm headed to AutoZone Park for Redbirds in Indianapolis.
Massive series for the Cardinals. And the Brewers, for that matter. Just huge. And it really could come down to the wire. We'll see how this goes. I'll say for the Cardinals' sake, I'm glad they have Jordan Montgomery. They have some pitching.
I want 2 out of 3.
They need it. They need it. Not just really want it. You'll be tied if they take 2 out of 3. And you can gain it. You can gain a game.
Sweep would be fun.
It would.
Brutal the other way.
It would, no question about it. But that's all we have for today in the week from TPC Southwind for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Thanks for joining us, contributing, talking to us, engaging. Thanks to Alan Bell, Bruce Marshall, Dave Voloshin, John Varlitz, and Clint Van Court for their contributions to today's show. But for Brian, I'm Gabe. Enjoy your night, your weekend, and be safe. We'll talk to you Monday from the Family Leisure Studios.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 38 years right here in Memphis. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your party, Corky's makes it so easy for you with our party pack, starting at only $7.49 per person. And you know you never have to worry about running out of food with Corky's.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.